Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
Welcome back, Boston's Big Podcast. We got a special guest today. Probably one of the biggest. This is actually a crossover episode a little bit. We've done some pod crossover episodes. And if you guys have been following the Massachusetts, New England podcast scene, you've probably heard of this guy. You've probably heard of this guy a lot more than us, actually. So he's prolific.
He's popping.
You might have even seen him opening shows or doing some comedy nights around the city and actually around. You're traveling everywhere. But anyways, Sam Buck, thank you for coming on.
I feel like to be like, you might have heard of him in the New England podcast scene. That's the top of a shit pile. I'm not gonna lie.
No, dude, hater.
No, I'm not hating on any other. I'm just being like, 10 years ago that wasn't even a thing.
No, that wasn't.
It is relatively new.
You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on. Though.
Of course.
I mean,
Thank you.
regardless of how it's come about, you have become one of the more prominent people. I mean, as far as I know, and if there are people that you know that we haven't heard of, let us know. But I mean, you're the guy. As far as I know.
I would say you do go beyond New England with your music reviews lately, because you've been reviewing artists from all over the place.
Oh yeah, I just always lived in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But I never wanted it to be like a Massachusetts thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'd rather be like a podcaster from Massachusetts than like a Massachusetts podcaster, because I feel like it like shortens the pod.
Why
You
limit
know what
yourself?
I mean?
That
Like,
makes sense.
you know what I mean? You don't want to be like a local rapper. You want to be like a rapper from a city, or like a comedian from. You know what I mean? Like,
People
absolutely.
hate it. So many times an artist has been here like, I'm not a local rapper. And you're like, yeah, well, for a little while you are. A little while, but
when's the last time you left the state?
you got to start local. I mean, it is what it is, but it's like, that's a great way to phrase it, though. Like, an artist from somewhere or whatever from somewhere, then that person.
I remember I did a comedy show, and they said something about some local legend boxer, and I didn't realize he was there. And I was up on stage, and it was like a fundraiser for him.
Oh my!
And I didn't realize. I just was doing
boxer from around
Wait a
here?
sec, dude.
from like Lowell or something.
Oh, man.
And then I was like,
I got some questions, but please finish.
I was like, how can you be a local legend? You're
I don't
either
know.
one or the other. You're either a legend
I
or you're a
disagree.
guy who's local. And
there is definitely such thing as a local
He got
legend.
so upset that I was like, damn. I
I
almost
mean-
got knocked out by this fucking
That's
Lowell
crazy.
boxer.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off a boxer.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to
You
piss
know?
off a boxer, no.
That's
You ruined his birthday party or whatever.
Yeah, his fucking fundraiser or whatever.
Who was it? Can we say? Or?
I have no idea, bro.
Dude, okay. This is the questions
from
I have.
Lowell?
How we're booking a show. You booked the stuff yourself, right? I don't mean to. I'm jabbing at you now. I need to know. You didn't look up like what this fundraiser was. Like, we're
I've
not
done
doing fresh
comedy
material for it.
So much in so many horrible situations that I truly do feel like it's funnier to go in blind. So
Okay.
I will talk like
I see what you mean, yeah.
different like I don't really have like a main manager, but like people who book me for things like different like promoters and shit. I like basically when it's comedy, I'm like, don't tell me, just give me an address.
Interesting.
And it's way funnier that way.
Interesting.
So I've gone to places and it's been huge sold out venues, and I've gone to places and there's two people. I've gone to places where I'm in the middle of a restaurant. I've gone to places I'm banned from high school.
Why? What happened
Explain.
there? Yeah. That's not a great thing to say. I mean, we're in the first 5 minutes of the episode now, and you're banned from high schools.
I know
What's
that
happening,
probably they booked me to do a show, and I showed up tripping on mushrooms.
Okay.
wow.
I can see that being a problem,
because they
actually.
do this thing. They do this thing now where they don't want kids to like die. This is a stand-up bit, so I don't want to do the bit. Like I want to tell you
I
guys
see
what
what you
really
mean.
happened. You know,
They're
what I
doing
mean?
this new thing
They
trying to
do
keep
this
kids
thing
alive.
where literally, so they keep them there after prom all
Okay.
night. They have to.
Oh, I know
stay.
about this. Yeah, they do that
They
in
have to
Marshfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they make the whole like there's like activities.
Yeah, and they
for the
booked
whole
me
night.
to do
Yeah.
stand up at 3 a.m.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
my the manager who booked that didn't tell me because I don't want to know. that it was a high school.
But dude,
What?
okay,
So you don't
this is
even know
such
where you're
surface level
going.
Stuff like you got the address, like
I
the high school's
yeah.
got to be the address.
I know when
right?
I looked it up, I knew, but like
So you don't know what kind of demographic
at
you're
least
preparing
nothing.
for. at
however
all.
long the ride was.
3 a.m.
Wow.
I'm tripping balls.
And that's how you go into shows. You don't know
pulling
what
up.
kind of demographic you're
Nope.
performing for. That's
Nope.
hilarious.
No, I think it's funnier that way. Like,
I mean, I'll
That
tell you
is-
what,
yeah.
I'm laughing. This is funny, but
No, this is good.
I just can't. I guess I could never. I
No,
could never
no.
go in knowing so little.
I did comedy so long that I was stressed about it for so many years. At every show, I would stress and I would talk over my lines, and I'd be like, "This is what
actually-
I need to do." That I truly went the full opposite way,
Okay.
and I went fully.
You're like,
I
I don't
don't
give a
care,
fuck.
and I think I'm so much funnier that way. Wouldn't
Okay.
you agree that I'm way
That's
funnier
fair.
now that I'm unprepared? Because I go up
That's fair.
and I just don't. I have like an anxiety attack on stage.
So how did they know you were on mushrooms? How'd that go down?
Or did they?
They didn't,
Yeah,
but
what was
when
the
I was
problem?
on stage, the kids were obviously like, "This dude's
Something's going on
fucked
here."
up."
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're yelling at me, and I can't swear, and I can't talk to the audience, and I'm tripping. So like, if I was allowed to do my set, I would have crushed.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh,
would
but
have been
because
like,
you had to put
because I'm
filters
like,
up,
I'm
yeah.
on drugs. Don't do this. Don't be like me. And immediately they'd laugh. You know what I mean? But I can't tell them, and I can't talk to them, and I can't swear.
That's got to be contract
So I'm
stuff, I
like-
imagine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so they're just yelling at me, literally, "You're fat, you're gay, you're balding, like you're on drugs," and I'm not. This is literally what these
I
high
didn't think you heard
schoolers
me
are
say any of
yelling
that.
at me, bro. And like, I can't do anything. I truly can't. And like, the teachers don't give a fuck because it's 3 a.m. They're passed out, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I get off stage, and my boy gets up, and my boy bombs too. And
Can we
I'm
talk
like,
about him? Is he the homie, or does he?
He's the
know
homie, yeah, and he just bombed too. It was just a bad set, you know what I mean? This was like, we shouldn't get into why it was a bad set because it was like,
I understand, yeah.
but like it was just
can
a
paint.
bad set. And we go outside to smoke,
Okay.
and he lights up a cigarette, and I'm rolling a joint. I'm rolling a joint, but he
Still out of high school.
but he lights up a cigarette in New Hampshire, and he didn't know it was like nicotine free. So the cops pull up. You can't smoke anything vaping
In New
cigarettes
Hampshire?
In New Hampshire on school property.
On school.
Oh, okay. The school property part. Just, I would assume that's the case in any state.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah. We're not making great decisions.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
telling
yeah,
you
yeah.
this is the night of Sam making great decisions.
I understand.
I'm just
yeah.
telling you.
How old
what.
were we at the time?
This is like a year ago.
I'm thinking like we've grown since then, and that's so funny.
Hey, you can
dude.
grow a lot in a year.
So he lights up a cigarette, and the cops immediately pull up on us because they're
Okay.
like, when they pulled up, there was a checkpoint, and like my car's gonna smell like weed. So,
Yikes! Yeah. What
and
did-
I'm pulling up to high school. Like, I probably shouldn't have said the name of the high school.
I don't remember. We can bleep it. I don't-
If you could bleep, can you? Is this like? Can
Yeah,
you
we can
bleep
bleep,
it?
yeah.
Just if you can tell the whole story, but just bleep the name of the high
Of the
school
town,
that I
yeah.
put. Yeah.
I feel you.
But so he lights up a cigarette. Cops immediately pull up on us,
Wow.
and they're like, and we're like, I have alcohol, like or whatever. I've made some bad decisions that night, and the cops are
going
like,
hard at a
and the
high school
cops
at
are
3 in
like,
the morning.
like nah. We're like, no, but you don't understand. We just got bullied by high schoolers. Like, we need this.
That's hilarious.
And literally, he was like, I don't think he was going to arrest us.
Yeah.
And then finally, he was like, we were like, but the sets went so bad. Like, we were pleading with him. We were
Yeah.
like, no, you don't understand. Like, the sets were really bad. And then finally, he was like, you can leave and not come back ever. Like, you can never come back.
Oh, they just said this to you though.
Yeah, you can never come back.
You're
so
not
there's
banned. You can go
still
back.
a comedian up on stage who we rode with,
Oh my
and
god.
we leave. We
Oh,
leave,
no.
and now it's 4 a.m. and we're like, yeah, you have to come to us. We're right across the town line.
How far was this walkable? There's probably not Ubers around there, right?
No, we had to walk.
Oh my god.
And yeah, that was that story.
First impressions of the pod. You're a bad friend, dude.
Yeah.
You left your guy.
No,
Left
we
the guy-
had
you
to.
had to leave.
We
You were-
had
yeah.
to leave.
Yeah,
The
no, I
cops were
guess
like,
you're
we
right.
Could
we
never
will
come back.
arrest you if you don't leave this second.
That's actually so funny that the whole purpose of their like barricading the kids in, you were able to, in a way, smuggle in many things, only got
Exactly
caught
what they were
leaving
trying
the
to
bubble.
avoid.
Yeah. That
And
is
if the
pretty-
kids had if I was allowed to do my set the way I wanted to, nothing bad would have happened.
have you done like colleges where that is possible?
Yeah. Most of my shows I can. That's what I mean. And,
And
like,
hopefully we're like filtering them. Like you're putting that little bit of, we're not at least booking high schools, right? That can't be the move.
and no, I think he did it as a joke. My booker.
Okay,
my
okay.
booker did it as a joke to me.
You still work with the same guy?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Are you kidding me?
But did you tell him no
That's
more
hol-
high schools?
Well, was it good money?
Yeah, he's not gonna. No, the checks got canceled.
Oh my
The
goodness.
cops told the
my
school,
God.
and
So
the
it just
check
cost
got
you
ca-
money.
Yeah,
Oh my
literally.
God.
So we didn't even make. I mean, it's a every worst set I've had is the funny. Like they're just funny stories. You know what I mean? Like
Have many of them been like Massachusetts, or because you travel a lot? I know I see you a lot in New York. We were talking about that a little bit, especially
All
about
over.
hip hop. But you're doing comedy in New York too. That's
yeah,
obviously the big hub.
New York, Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, Miami. Like
How
I've
are you
traveled
getting
all
there?
over.
Are you just going and going up and meeting people and then getting booked, or are you asking before you go? I'm just curious how that works.
I know comedians in different cities who will put me in touch
Okay.
with people who will book me for shows, or like I'll get booked to headline a show like in Philly or something,
Nice,
and just get traveled down there, and then just
Headlining?
drive and get like and then get like
killing it.
I don't know, get a fucking like I just headlined in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago and sold out the show, which was cool because I was like, who the fuck do I know in Pittsburgh? You know, what
They
I
know you
mean?
though.
Yeah.
They knew me, which was cool as hell. They showed out, but it's like, you know, you make a couple $100. You know, you're not getting rich off of it. You're making enough money that, and you know, you're after like the hotel. You're not gonna stay in a nice hotel. You're staying at like an $80 to $100, $80 a night hotel with your buddy, my buddy who was opening up for me, and you know, so we make a couple $100 after. But it's like it's just getting out there and building a fan base. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care about. I care about breaking even at this point. You know what I mean? Like if I'm breaking even from doing those shows, it's like I can make money when I do other shit. Like I just want to get out there and see the fans, and if people want to see me tell jokes, it's like, of course, that's the dream. That's what I
the
started.
goal,
That's
yeah.
what I started everything for. You know what I mean? Was so people could hear me tell jokes. So it's like, yeah, that's why I started everything. So it's like, I'm gonna do that no matter what.
Yeah.
So you sold out that show. Did you have? You must be selling merch, right? There's gonna be bucked up merch out there.
I do have bucked up merch, but I didn't have it at that event. I actually just got my box of merch. It's in my trunk right now.
Oh, we're gonna have to. Maybe we'll talk shop after.
Yeah, I just got some merch, but I'm so bad at all that, bro. I just started having like people help me and work for me, but for years I was a one-man team doing everything: the comedy, the podcast, the book, and just everything.
It's
So
a lot
it's
of
like
work. Yeah.
shit just like kind of falls to the side like merch, you know what I mean? Like, and it's so dumb because it's like, yeah, you can make money, and then, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's,
Well, some of them must have been podcast fans. I imagine that's sort of where I was going originally with that. Because having the podcast and just your merch separately is the bucked up merch. You have Sam Buck merch too, right? Or
no, it's really just bucked up merch.
Okay.
I don't like merch that looks like merch. I guess mine, kind of does, but I just like cool artwork. So I had a friend design a T-shirt off of one of my DMT trips.
okay.
And I just told him about it, and I was like, just go to town and do some art. And he created this dope-ass piece of artwork that has like
Get the Shopify going. I want one. now.
I do have it on my website. If
Oh,
you go to
good.
my website, sambuckcomedy.com, you can get it. But I got titties on it, and I got DMT frogs on it, and it's sick as hell. So I do like that. But yeah, I need to be better at promoting that shit. But if you DM me, I have shirts, and you can find them on my website too.
Perfect.
Word.
Well, hey, yeah, you're doing it now. No, that's cool. So, but you did find there were podcast fans coming to the shows like that. Is that helping out?
Yeah, that's like, bro, when I was just doing comedy, ain't no one coming to come see me do comedy, just comedy. Like, no, how's anyone gonna
I
find
feel
me?
like that's
Well,
the
where's the
case with
reach?
a lot
Yeah.
of comedians right now. Like a lot of
Yeah.
comedians are blowing up off their podcasts, like way more than they were. Just
100%.
Yeah.
You because you're gonna burn all your jokes. So say like if you have 60 jokes that will go viral, and they're each a minute long. That's an hour. But if, say, you post one a day, 5 days a week, you're going to run out in a couple months, and then you're going to have to create a whole new hour with, like, that's a lot of work to craft those jokes. But with podcasts and with content, like, you can make so much more, so many more eyes see you to come see you do stand-up. So then you can do the same jokes and work on them and make them better. Like, I'm about to release a mixtape, kind of like a CD, like how they used to with one of my headlining set in Pittsburgh, actually. Okay. And it's going to be super just CD. You'll get a download code when you get it. But I want to do like old school, like you can just hear me do stand-up. Like, it's not even like, it's not polished or whatever. It's just like,
that's the move.
It's going to be some cool art with that shit. Like,
oh yeah.
When we were kids, that was like a thing. I remember that's how I discovered Brian Regan. It was just like someone playing him in the car. They had the CD because I think that was his thing. He was pushing the CDs, and it works, you know.
Yeah, bro. We were talking about how I got into stand up earlier. Dane Cook.
Yeah,
my friend just showed whatever Dane Cook. Everyone like, but someone just showed me a Dane Cook CD. Like, that's the first remembering stand up comedy. It's like, they don't do that because it's like maybe you'll see it on TikTok or whatever, but the short attention span. Like, if you're listening to an album while driving, I used to listen to comedy albums over and over and over again, like. In the car, on the bus, whatever, you know?
So funny. Yeah, those like original ones too. There were just some like classics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, like Pandora. Did you ever do the comedy Pandora?
No.
I would go on Pandora and put comedians in, and they would just show you all different jokes from different comedians.
Interesting. I never
did that.
Who
were some of your inspirations from that time?
From that time was like, like Brian Regan, Doug Benson, Todd Glass, Dan Cummins, Shane Moss, Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir, like, man, there were so many, like, there were so many from that time that I loved, but Mark Maron, and then you go to like the older stuff. Like, I loved going back and listening to like Rodney Dangerfield. I loved going back and listening to like Sam Kinison or like Andrew Dice Clay. And then like, I would find so many different comedians that way. And I'm so like Jen Kirkman, I used to love. There was just so many good comedians. Mike Birbiglia.
I love Mike Birbiglia.
Pete Holmes,
shout out to that guy.
Like, yeah, he's from Shrewsbury.
He is. Local guy.
Yeah, there's so many. I used to love all that shit, bro. It takes me back to a great time.
Yeah, it's like when the Comedy Central half hours were big. So I just watched those like all afternoon sometimes. Those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel like time's never been better for comedy. I'm like I just consume so much comedy content, and it's really all I want to do. Sometimes other things stress me out, or they get too serious, and I'm like, I just want to laugh.
Comedy's like music. It's like music in a way where it's like it's finally becoming a thing, because like comedy was like almost like a genre of music.
Yeah,
but now it's comedy's a whole different beast that rivals it almost. Like podcasts almost rival music. I bet
they do more podcasts than music. Yeah,
they do. I listen. I'm probably about 50-50. Depends on what I'm feeling that day. But either a podcast or music.
10 years ago, it was probably like 0.01% of the population listened to like talk radio and podcasts. Maybe 1%.
Yeah,
but it has to be up over like 10% now.
Yeah,
listen to podcasts.
I'd say so. I stopped listening to the radio.
People, like, people don't really listen. Like, I know people who don't like music now.
That's
crazy.
Like, I just don't like music. I listen to podcasts.
Strange.
Like, I just don't like music.
I remember getting.
I don't like that.
That was like when I was in a like class way back in the day. We were like kids. They posed the like philosophical question of like, could you live without music? And some people were saying no. I think like I was saying no. You're trying to just be the asshole in the class or whatever. Yeah. But I don't think it's possible. Like, kind of music is, whether or not it's like a constructed song, just exists. You know, even the way we talk is a little musical. There's like a cadence to it, just however. And you know things, you know what someone's saying sometimes without even the words, just the way they say it. And that's like, in a way, I would say musical. And the way you can kind of direct people's emotions with comedy, it's all orchestration in some way, you know?
Yeah, that's why no one can just get up and do comedy. Like, people think like, oh, I can do it, but it's truly poetry. And not like, I don't mean that in a corny way.
Yeah,
I just mean it in the way that you're catered. Like, you have to, comedy isn't jokes. Comedy is like playing an instrument, and the instrument is the audience.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
you have to play off the audience. So
Wow,
in
that's
each
a-
like if I think about everything like
It's a
rap.
great line.
I think about everything like rap. So I think like when I try to describe to rappers how I do comedy, I say every audience is a beat. And like, you know, you could rap the same flow on a bunch of different beats, but like it's still cool. Like every audience is a beat and you have to treat them differently. And and like maybe some people can get up and start freestyling right off the bat. And those are the rare cases with comedy, but it's like you have to learn the rhythm and the cadence of like silence and pauses. And it's like that's in the way it's poetry, where it's like it's a cadence thing. It's not just like I'm gonna go up there and talk, because like I can say something that I think is funny right now, but you're not gonna laugh without the timing. You know what I mean? That's why when people are like, tell me a joke, it's like, give me 45 seconds and then I'm gonna say something so crazy that you won't even know what's happening. And that's funny to me, but you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
what's the set up punchline joke you were gonna tell? Like, you know
Man,
what I mean? You know what I
It
mean?
really
Like,
is. The more you mention that, like the rap, it's all about delivery. Like there are some rappers that are not excellent lyricists, but the way they say things is just it sounds amazing. And that's really the same thing with comedy.
yeah.
Like,
And
yeah,
you can see how it gets dated over time. Like
Yeah.
what our parents think is so funny, usually we don't. And they don't understand the new comedy, thinking it's too edgy or something. It usually happens.
Yep. Huh? A hibbity, hibbity, hip.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
exactly.
mean? Like we're
To
like,
the
what
hump,
the
yeah.
fuck?
Bars.
My buddy just gave me a painting of Richard Pryor.
yeah.
An incredible painting. Shout out Kip the Fog. Incredible painting. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go listen to some Richard Pryor. Like, I've listened to Richard Pryor, but I haven't in a couple of years, like probably 5-6 years. Like, I'm going to go listen to it. I'm like, damn, this is crazy what it was. Like, he's the most influential comedian probably in the world. Like, probably top 10. And he's not telling jokes. Like, when you listen to him, it's not like what comedy is now. Like,
Right.
he's giving energy and people are dying off of his energy, and I'm like, that shit's gangster. Like, that shit's tough. That's why I go up there raw. That's why I don't want them to tell me where I am, because it's like,
Whether
that
or
shit's
not
not
it's got
funny.
kids around
That
and
shit's
stuff,
not
you know?
funny. Like
Yeah.
That is wild to me.
So
but
crazy.
I looked up to Joey Diaz like when I was a kid.
I love Joey
like,
Diaz.
I
Jesus
smoked
Christ.
weed because of
Uncle
Joey
Joey.
Diaz. I did 3,000 milligrams because of Joey Diaz.
Oh,
like
man.
I smoked
How many stars would you be eating with Uncle Joey?
and
dude?
whatever. Like I got to co-headline a show with Lee Sy at once, and like
Really? I ran into him at Fenway one time.
yeah, he's such a good dude. Like we smoked, but like that's a huge influence. So he's like a crazy person. So the people I looked up to lived crazy lives. So you asked me how I got into these situations. I
Yeah.
truly put myself in crazy situations because I'm like, this is the life I
a good
want to
story.
live. Like stories, bro. Like
It's also truly like not the story isn't even really dangerous, but it that's kind of at the heart of it. It's a fun story, the danger wasn't really there for anybody, it was just we're all having a good time.
Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Doug Stanhope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Doug Stanhope's probably the biggest influence too.
He's nuts.
He's nuts, but like that's influenced me, so it's like I'm nuts because
Yeah.
of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, I love the freedom of that. And actually we were talking about One Piece a little bit. I find something that show inspires me about, and those guys inspire me about, is just kind of like moving in your direction, and it's how you seem to be living, of like doing what you want to do and just kind of not letting things stop you. And like there's that I don't know if you're like, the hot topic today is anxiety. People are always talking about whether they're anxious about things. But like, do you feel that when you're going through, or are you just doing what you want and you're sort of throwing that away? Like, this is not worth me. It's not worth weighing me down.
I forget who said this to me once. It was a friend. It wasn't someone famous. It wasn't someone trying to be like click worthy, but someone was like, everyone's fucking anxious. Like everyone doesn't want to do shit. Like
Exactly,
everyone feels that way. Like, and then I was like, damn, bro, like you're right. Like I just am a little bitch. Like don't mean to like,
Yeah.
when you hear that, I was like, damn, bro. Like, so I'll be the things that have made me the biggest, like the things that have helped me the most were probably the most uncomfortable or most unhappy moments in my life. Like the actual moment of uncomfortability, like in that moment ended up being things that blew up, or like
yeah.
Just shit like this. So it's like, yeah, I just put myself through that, and I do live that One Piece life. That's why I loved One Piece when I saw it, because I was like, damn, bro, this is how I already live. I didn't even realize that this is such a good hero's journey. It's the same reason I like Stephen King, because Stephen King writes only about that. Like, he only writes about, like, the Dark Tower is the same as One Piece. Like, it's the exact same thing. If you like One Piece, you'll like the Dark Tower series, because it's like the hero's journey. You know what I mean? So I put myself in situations and believe it's going to work. And Frank has been there with me where it has worked out when it shouldn't. And it
Shout out
always
Frank. Frank's
like,
nodding his head. People can't see.
and it also has
Shout out
not
to
worked
Frank.
out.
Yeah.
It also has not worked out. I got one of the biggest opportunities in my life, and I drove all the way to Atlanta with my homie. Like, spent thousands of dollars on this trip down to Atlanta, and the shit didn't work out. Like, the shit fell through, and it's like, oh, cool. Like, I've had so many wins that I can't be mad at a loss. You know,
and you're in
what I
Atlanta.
mean?
You can do
Like,
something while you're down there.
yeah, exactly. We went to fucking the Coca-Cola Museum.
Perfect.
The Coca-Cola
perfect.
Museum.
I thought
you
that
were
was
gonna
in
say-
Disney, dude.
I thought you were going to say a strip club or something.
No, I'm not.
Or is that a euphemism? The
No,
Coca-Cola.
it literally is the Coca-Cola museums down in Atlanta.
I don't
and that
know, dude.
shit's-
Frank's giving me different energy.
No, literally, they have every soda that Coke has ever put out, so you can try 150 sodas.
So
So
this
by
is
the end,
like-
you're like,
Is this like what they
yeah.
have in Disney, or isn't it not like around the world Coke? It's like
No,
any
this
Coke.
is like, no,
Coke,
every
cherry
soda.
Coke.
You got to think about any soda that they sell all around the world. So,
So it
rare
is
ass
like Disney.
fruits,
Even ones that they don't
like-
sell anymore, the ones that are
They just
they
have,
have
it
them there.
All,
Chat,
all.
is this
awesome.
what they have at Disney? Please confirm. You know what I'm talking about?
I do,
They have
but
the
no.
around the world thing.
But this
But
is
you're
like
saying that's
this
what they
is
have
way
to-
more.
It's more than that.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is that's where the
But they probably have
Coca-Cola
that shit, too.
headquarters is. So it's like that's where they.
Dude,
have.
do you think that the Coca-Cola headquarters really has that secret vault with the one recipe and no one else
They
knows it?
do
except-
have the vault, but no way there's a like they have it fake. But I'm like, this shit's so corny. Like this shit pisses me off.
Oh, it's like part of the
we
tour.
spent $30
That-
to get
so
into
did the
this shit,
Coca-Cola
like-
Museum have the Coke with the cocaine in it?
Nice.
The
No,
original
you're
Coke?
like, yes,
They
no,
don't-
You
it's
said
a-
everything
like-
they'd ever made.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
it's-
Start
yeah.
flipping tables and shit.
Dude, that's got to be in the vault somewhere. Hey, if anyone can get a couple of those, let us know. That's
Yeah,
great.
no, that shit sucked. But no, like that Atlanta trip was like cool, but oh my buddy's from like a small town in Mass, and he doesn't know how to like handle big cities.
Okay.
So there's kids fighting in the street.
What's the town?
Atlanta. Oh, Cape. He's from the Cape. He's from
Okay.
the Cape. I don't want to give, but he's from the Cape.
No, I get it.
And there's
That's enough.
kids literally fighting in the street. And he pulls out his phone and starts
He's going World
filming
Star?
these
Oh, no.
kids fight. And the kids are like, let's stop fighting each other and
Fuck this
fight
guy up."
this guy.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, put your fucking phone away right now. Like, turn, and we walked, and we literally walked in the door as they got to us. But I was like it was like some movie shit. Like we got right.
You're
into
running or
the-
you're walking?
speed walking?
And they're running.
And they're running at us because they were a little far
wow.
away, and they were like, "Hey, bro, why are you filming us?" Like,
That's
and I'm
hilarious.
like, why are you filming
Yeah,
them?
why are you
And
filming
there,
them?
there was a
question, dude.
museum we were going to, and I don't even remember what the name of it was. It was some fucking science museum or whatever. And so literally, I'm like, we gotta go. So we're sprinting or like speed walking, and we get right in the door as they get to us. And they weren't gonna like go in the museum, but I was like, bro, don't ever pull out your phone and record people fighting in the like
That's
teens fighting in the street, bro. I get on Cape Cod, you'll see some like Chad
Don't
fight
record
at the bar.
teens doing anything.
Like if
That's-
you see some Chad in the bar fighting on Cape, yeah, you're gonna pull out your phone because
Even
it's
still,
funny.
you're drawing
but like,
attention to yourself. You're
but
gonna
like, bro, we're
be
in the
involved now.
streets of Atlanta right now. Like, like, bro,
Yeah,
like,
out of place.
like,
That's
you have
crazy.
zero street smarts or anything.
That is
right
wild.
now.
Yikes. Damn.
so
is this is just a friend or also a comedian?
This is also a comedian. Yeah, this is a dude who I take who
Can we
opens
roast
for me
him?
sometimes.
yeah, can we
Who
roast
is he?
him?
Dox this guy, dude. Dox him.
No, Thatcher Wood is his name, and he does some dumbass
Irrelevant.
shit.
No, I'm
doxed
just
him.
kidding. That's not fair. Yeah, whatever. He's a good guy. Follow him. Go follow him.
Go follow Thatcher Wood.
But he fucked up that time.
That's interesting.
It
so,
happens.
how many? You mentioned that like just not everything. All the stories can go on. It sounds like so. What are some times where you adjusted to a crowd, and it worked out? Like, have you like where have you won people back?
I mean, I feel like more sets go good than bad, but I feel like
That's
the
good.
bad sets are more memorable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, there was a time when I was performing 4 or 5 nights a week every week. Like, you know, like especially because I stream so much now, I probably perform like once or twice a week. I try to, you know what I mean, or average out to right around them. But it's like most of the sets go well. I would say that Crackhead the other day in Connecticut was a good time. I was headlining in Connecticut.
Getting heckled by a crackhead?
Well, I was like, so the stage is right here and the door is right here.
Okay.
And I was just yelling about haircuts, and some crackhead ran in and was like, "Who you guys talking about haircuts?"
Why do crackheads always
Was he
cut
looking
hair?
for a haircut?
I don't even know. And that shit ended up being hilarious. And then another guy came in, and he was like scary, but
How did he get
I
it?
ended up-
Security was all right with it?
he didn't give a fuck. What town was it in? New Britain or something?
Connecticut?
Some shit
Some
town
dumb-
in
dumb
Connecticut.
town,
yeah,
yeah.
literally, where they didn't give a fuck. And they truly didn't give a fuck because these dudes were yelling. I was like full on in a back and forth argument with a crackhead at my show. Like,
That's fucking hilarious.
That's so weird.
Do
Dude.
we
I
have
ended
video
up
footage of
getting
this?
him. I ended up getting him to like afterwards be like cool. Like we ended up talking. The crackhead.
The
and me,
crackhead?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, being cool, but like, yeah, most of them go well, but the bad sets are definitely more memorable. You know,
Yeah.
like.
I believe that. I mean, the bad moments in life, like the most traumatizing moments, are always the most memorable. I feel like.
Yeah, and it's like it depends what your sense of humor is. Like
Yeah.
I like uncomfortability when I feel like I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So it's like I will force uncomfortability into a room, and other people might be like, "What the fuck is happening?" But that shit's super funny to me
Yeah,
because I'm
sitting
like,
in it is hilarious.
I'm in control, right? Like you don't understand.
So you enjoy
like-
that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bro. When I did Conway's festival out in Buffalo, 2,000 people theater or whatever, like it was T.I.'s Haha Mafia and me. And I got
That's crazy.
booed by
I'm sorry,
the
what?
entire theater.
T.I.'s Haha Mafia.
Yeah, he has some rap comedy label where it's
Okay.
all He signed
I
one,
didn't know what
and
that
he
was.
does
It's-
comedy too.
T.I. does comedy.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
I've
did.
heard that,
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw him do stand up once actually.
Yeah, so he
Isn't
and then
T.I.
he
just
has
like
like
in
a.
debt though? I thought he was.
This is a good way to get out, I guess. He
Yeah,
thinks.
he's just doing
And so
everything.
like it was me and his label. So it's like the one nerdy white guy and like the real Atlanta. And this is Conway's festival in Buffalo. And I have a bit where it's a bit about the movie The Boy in the Striped Pajamas,
Okay.
which is a Holocaust
I'm
movie.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the joke is to get the room so uncomfortable about the movie and then start hitting
Tension
them
and
with
release,
jokes.
yeah.
Exactly. But I'm at the T.I.'s Haha Mafia show. Not like I'm me. Like I'm me. I'm not going to change who I am so I'm doing my joke. And I'm 2 or 3 minutes into explaining a really horrific Holocaust movie. And the whole audience just starts booing. I mean, the
Oh, so you don't get to
entire-
like turn.
No.
You said
no.
2,000
The
people.
entire 2,000 people booing me, and that was
I
kind
didn't
of like
know Atlanta was so invested in the Holocaust.
this was in
This is
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
This was in
Oh,
Buffalo.
okay, that
This
makes
is
a little
Conway's
more
thing.
sense.
No, they didn't even. They were just like, we don't want to hear you. We're here to see T.I. and his like the biggest Atlanta rappers. We're not here to see fucking Will Ferrell, Napoleon Dynamite fucking talk about the Holocaust. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can see why someone would
That
call
is
you
funny.
Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah.
And then
That
one
is
person
funny.
starts booing, and then they're like, "Oh, we can do this," and then another person starts booing,
And then you just start
they're like-
booing.
That's
and then
amazing.
I'm like,
Booing them
"I'm
back.
okay. I'm up here. Like I can't."
Do you just dance a little bit and then
Yeah, I'm
that's
just
how you
like
win them
I
back?
was kind of just like, "There's a reason I'm up here. I don't really care. Like you can boo me. I'm finishing my
So
joke."
you weren't
like-
affected by the booing.
I mean, it definitely hurt, but
Did
it's
you
like
keep talking or did you kind of let them get it out?
I got it. A little bit of both. You can't let them
You just
take
gotta be
control.
like,
You
take-
also can't
ask
take.
for
You
more,
can't let
yeah.
them take control of the room.
No
Like,
way,
If
yeah.
you lose control of the room, you're done. So like, I kind of did both, but it definitely didn't feel great. But like,
Yeah.
it's still fun. It's funny to think about afterwards. You know what I mean? To be like,
Yeah.
damn, that shit really did happen. And those 2,000 people are probably like,
That's
remember
wild.
when that fucking nerdy ass white kid we booed his ass at Conway's festival?
You're
Like-
just like over their shoulder at the bar hearing that, like, little despondent.
Well, they were also so mad because it was T.I.'s Haha Mafia. But T.I.
I'm
must have
confused
gotten
why this is
sick.
more. Why did this,
T.I. must have gotten sick or something. And
so
he didn't even show. He was supposed to show up. He didn't show up. So at the door, they're like, yeah, we promoted it as T.I.'s Haha Mafia, not T.I. and his Haha Mafia.
oh my god!
So people are like, we just bought tickets to see T.I. and you bamboozled
They thought Ti
us.
was gonna perform.
Exactly.
So they
Stand
didn't
up,
have to
but-
refund on a technicality.
Exactly. So then they're
Yikes.
like, and then get
That's
this
some
guy,
real club
then
owner
get,
shit.
Yeah,
Then
really.
get Sam Buck up there.
That's hilarious.
And have him talk about the Holocaust.
You ended up being the headliner because of it.
No. I was one of the first comedians. I was the
I
first
see.
comedian.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't.
I was the
yeah.
first comedian. I was
People were probably still
those
finding their
lambs
seats.
to the slaughter right
Yeah.
there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What it is.
So that was Conway's festival. So that was his.
Yeah.
That was he obviously invited you on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you? I'm not sure the origin story. Like, how did you connect with Griselda originally?
I just bought a meet and greet to the Middle East upstairs when Conway was performing. You know,
Yeah.
the Middle East upstairs, pretty small
course, yeah.
venue.
I always tell people you can usually, if you want to meet the artist, if you go to the Middle East, there's a very good chance
Yeah,
you can meet them before
definitely.
or after the show or something. Like they're usually just there. So go to the Middle East. It's a great place.
Yeah,
So,
but,
sorry, continue. My bad.
No problem. I bought a meet and greet ticket. I think I was in college at the time. He was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, this doesn't look like my normal fans." Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't have he wasn't big yet.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like nerdy white guy. I was like, "I'm a comedian. You inspire me." He's like, "Okay." Go outside and follow him outside afterwards to try to smoke with him. And I was out of weed at the time, and I had like a backwood that I had all the weed left I had was half of it, and I filled the rest of it with the backwood guts.
That's
Okay.
funny. Oh no.
So I'm smoking it, and I hand it to rest in peace DJ Shay, who was Benny's DJ, and really like started off that whole thing. So I'm smoking. He's like, "Let me hit that," and he hits it, and he didn't even say shit. He's a good dude for this. He just hit it and then just immediately handed it back to me. Didn't roast me for it, but was like. And so I talked to Conway, and then fast forward like 2 years, COVID hit. And I couldn't perform stand-up anymore, so I started a podcast. And I liked rap, so I just started interviewing rappers. And just because of however it was, it just kind of like people liked my podcast because I knew I was interviewing like super people who had fan bases, but like that no one knew yet. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So like the Griselda people, and then Conway was like, "Is that nerd? Or, like, is that nerdy white dude that I remember from like 2 years ago, just at the meet and greet?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I'll do your podcast." And
That's awesome.
and then the rest was history. Westside saw that, Benny saw that. They started bringing me around them, and then I built relationships with them separately. You know, because Griselda, they don't like hang out all the time. Like it's not like they're always together. Not many people like. So I've built relationships with all three of them separately, and they've all like given me advice separately and helped me separately. But it was like Conway was the first one who brought me in, and then I met Westside and Benny after that.
Okay. That's awesome. That's obviously been huge for your exposure and everything,
Oh, 100%. Those are
especially
my
on social media.
Yeah, those are my favorite rappers. Like I wouldn't do it. I'm not like I'm not like it might seem this way, but it's like if I don't really like something, I'm not gonna rep for it.
Yeah.
But if I love something, I'm gonna rep heavy. So I'm gonna rep One Piece heavy. I'm gonna rep like
Appreciate
Stephen King heavy. I'm gonna rep Griselda heavy. I'm gonna rep like these things that I love. Like it's fun for me to make weird Griselda content because like they're the most
love
gangster
that.
rappers in the world, and they allow me to be around them.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm the goofy guy that gets to be around them, then I'm just gonna make goofy content with them. Like
Yeah.
and then they allow it, and then it's like with the on the radar reactions and all that shit. It's like I just like music and I like being fun, and I guess people like watching me do that, and they've accepted me. So it's like I don't know. It's you know what I mean. Like I try not to even think about it. I just try to be like,
It
is
just
this
seems like
something
this
I
is
enjoy?
natural. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
part of what you are, anyways.
yeah, if you think about it too much, you're just like you psych yourself out. You were talking about like anxiety. Like anxiety manifests itself, and anxiety like eats itself. You know what I mean? Like it's like a.
It's the thing that stops people from doing the things they love a lot of the time. That's why I brought it up as part of like, you know.
But then
might
that
think,
causes
like,
more anxiety.
Are people going to think I'm funny? Should I even do the podcast? Should I share this? Like, is that, you know, those are the things. And I'm not saying you have that. It's just that the reason, like, to inspire others, like, if that is something you can push away or
it's like,
not have.
It's like prove to yourself that you suck. Like if you really do think you suck, I forgot who told me that, but it's
That's
like
a good line.
Prove to yourself that you suck, and then I do suck. Like I do suck at what I do. Like there's a reason that a lot of my episodes don't have a lot of views. There's a reason that like certain shit,
You gotta put the time
certain
in, yeah.
shit has blown the fuck up. But I still put out episodes. Like I did a live stream today, and it was probably like 300 people watching, 400 people watching. Like
a big
not
deal.
that, but that's not that many people compared to like
At one time, it's kind of a lot.
On a live stream, that's pretty good.
whatever it is. But like just to because it's like all right, my views of the views across the platforms are like something like 8 million this month. But like the 300 on the live stream make me a lot happier. Because it's like that's more fulfilling. Like,
Yeah.
You can't think about it and prove to yourself that you suck. Like maybe that live stream did suck, but it's like cool. Am I not gonna do it because of that, bro? Like,
Yeah.
when we consume content, music, movies, books, anything, we judge it and we hate on it. Even if we like it, we try to pick the things we hate about it.
That's true.
Like even
love being a
something
hater,
we
yeah.
love so much, we're like, that album was so good, but that song fucking sucked though.
Yep.
Or like that movie was so good, but that one scene, if they took that one scene of that out of that movie, it would have been the perfect fucking movie. But it's like, cool, dude. Like they still did it. Like,
Yeah, no, definitely. I've always said, and actually we've mentioned this, someone, it's deep in the past of this podcast, but I've said before, like oftentimes like that thing that you're so worried about, like people finding out, or like you think like I'll be perceived a certain way or whatever, it gets out there and you're just still alive and everything's okay and you're not like dead and nothing's bad. And you're like, I guess people know it and it's fine. It's out there, right? There's usually that relief of like things. So being just like open book like that and not allowing the things to stop you or whatever, you know. Anyways,
bro, family members hate me. Hate me. Family members hate me. People from my high school. Like I got a full ride to like a really good high school, and like I went to my reunion, and people were like, "We've seen what you've done." And it's like,
What does that mean?
it's because I'm
you're
super
getting
open,
hate for
like,
real? Oh
from
my
like
God.
from like people in my past who are like, Sam was such a nice boy, and now
We've
he's
seen what you've
doing-
done. What
yeah,
have you done that was so
done
bad?
drugs
You're
with
still a nice
rappers
boy.
online. You know what I mean?
Drugs,
Talked
like, as in
talked
weed?
about family trauma. Like talked about like mushrooms. Like
weed,
maybe they
mushrooms.
clicked on an
Those are-
episode where I'm like, you know, but. Who gives a shit? But like, yeah,
to the best of us.
My
Crazy.
fucking high school, the person who was like in charge of me, like you know, you were assigned to a teacher, in my high school, like was like I can't, and she was like, yeah, she was like, I've seen what you've done. I was like,
No way.
okay, like cool.
Like, what have I
like,
done that's so bad?
I've seen what
picturing
you
the,
done. Be a 50-year-old bitch to like a fucking child. You know what I mean?
Clip
like,
it.
it's like that shit's so dumb. Like,
Wow.
Yeah,
when-
no, that is crazy. I mean,
That is
honestly,
crazy.
the truth is, it doesn't matter that much. Like the people that get uptight about that stuff, it's kind of a waste of energy and time. So it's annoying that that stuff can happen where like there's inhibitions. But I'm the reason I even mention those things is like I admire how you have just sort of lived your life. You're doing the Luffy thing, and I want to do the Luffy thing, and it's not necessarily about consumption, but like it's about just doing what you want, like getting in those rooms. I love going to shows and seeing people and meeting new people and meeting new artists and hearing what they have to say and their music. The amount of times that I've like gotten that rush of like I'm so impressed with what I just saw on stage, and I go home like, wow, that was a great night. Like that was awesome. It's just so cool. I'm like going to places, and to think that there's like an edge to that, just like going out, whether you attach that to drugs or not, like it's just part of what the scene is, you know?
it's like fulfillment. It's
Yeah.
like fulfillment. It's, you know, some people are like, you have to work and not be happy at all. You have to like, if you want to live your dreams, you have
That's
to fully,
Irish Catholic
you have to
guilt.
fully like, and that works for a lot of people
Yeah.
where it's like, I'm just I'm not gonna have any social life. I'm gonna
Yep.
not give. I'm moving to LA and I'm following my dreams no matter what. Like I get that. And then there's people who are like, I don't care about it. I'm just having fun. But I feel like somewhere in the middle is where my fulfillment is, where it's like I'm gonna keep moving forward and keep pushing, but like I also want to have fun and be happy and like spend time with my family and my friends and have a relationship and like not just be like you know what I mean? Like I feel like both can work if you're fulfilled, because it's like I don't care how many listeners I get or whatever, because it's like I'm fulfilled and I don't have to worry about my like living right now. So it's like if I can live happily and feel fulfilled, what that's truly like, isn't that like that's
That's it.
That's what life's about, you know?
Absolutely.
Like,
Seems like you're doing a good job with the people that matter the most are around you. You have that whole series with your grandmother reading the lyrics.
Oh, I love that.
That's so funny.
We got to
yeah.
talk about your grandmother.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I love that too. I like she
How'd
never
that start?
She never liked the podcast because
Yeah.
of everything we talked about for the past.
I tell
whatever.
my family not to watch the podcast.
Exactly. And then they're like, "What's your grandson doing for work?" Because all their grandsons are fucking like lawyers or like, and then IT or whatever, doctors, and they're like, "What is yours doing?" And it's like, Sam's in a trap house in Buffalo right now. Like,
Hey,
How do you know that? He's FaceTiming me.
So she was never a fan, but then it started to like take off more, and I think she got interested in being like, oh wow, like Sam, she wanted me to like follow my interest as a kid, but then she was like, oh, this is the interest, you know what I mean? So like
If it's
she was
a world
little
they
like
don't understand, I can
exactly. But then she was like, damn, these dudes are actually kind of nice to him. Like, everyone's being nice to him and welcoming in a grandmotherly way, like how grandmothers think, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And she was kind of like, I want to be a part of it somehow. Like, she jokingly, like, asked if she wanted to come on the podcast. And
that's awesome.
I was like, I don't think that's going to be good. Like, maybe now, but at the moment, I was
Now
like,
it would be great.
I don't think that's a good idea, but, like, let me think about how I can get you to be a part of it, you know? And so I heard a Stove God song, this rapper Stove God Cooks,
Yep.
and I was listening to his lyrics, and I was like, these lyrics are really poetic, and he's not swearing.
There
And
you
then
go.
I was like, I should have like my mom read, or maybe like I could read it and show how poetic it is. I was like, no one wants to hear me read it. I was like, my mom, and then I was like, my mom's like that's cool, but it's like, mom's like a hip woman, so it's not like that crazy that
Right.
like this hip woman's reading rap lyrics. Oh,
Right.
like, but then I was like, Nana, and so I showed it
That's
to
awesome.
her. And she was like, yeah, I'll read these. You know what I mean? I'll read these. And we did that. And then that shit, like, the first one, I think, did like 300,000, you know?
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Like,
Yeah.
like within like 2 days, 300,000. And then I guess, like, later I found out that my Nana, like, she wanted to, like, act and stuff as a kid
Okay.
and never followed her dreams at all. You know what I mean? Like, she
Yeah.
had a very,
Anxiety.
you know? Well, it was also during the Depression.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
depression.
she grew up super
Anxiety and the depression.
She grew up super
yeah, no,
poor.
there were no
and-
hopes and dreams back then.
Yeah, no, super poor Baltimore depression. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they ate their pets and shit like
course,
crazy.
yeah.
You know, like
tell me
just-
about it.
So that is, yeah. So she kind of started getting that fulfillment.
Okay.
I think like it went viral, and she was
Yeah.
like, and there were no hate comments. Like she has a burner Instagram.
How can you hate on
account.
that? How can you hate on that?
The like Nana page I run, but she has a secret page
Does she really?
where she goes on Instagram and she reads everything.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
she's reading all these comments and people are like, I love you. Like you're my favorite. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are really like, I've never seen something like, you know, like they
That's
really
awesome.
love her.
That's
And
awesome.
she was like, oh my God, like people, I didn't realize I could touch people like this. Like I didn't even realize something so mundane as reading lyrics. And I think I felt this way too, but this is how she's expressed it to me. now that we've created this whole series, is she's like, I'm just like this older lady. Like, I don't get why people like hearing me read this, but they do, and it brings so many people like joy, like actual pure joy, that it's like, why would I not, like, how could I like hold people from that pure joy? You know what I mean? I even feel that way sometimes, where it's like she'll ask me to do videos because it's like I don't want to make that like I'm like pimping Nana out. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, all right, every day we are doing a video at 3 o'clock. You better be ready. You know,
you're gonna do the 5 big boys.
Like the Costco guy with his
let's
son.
go. Like, no. So when she asks me to do a video, we'll do a video. Like, I'm not that type of way with her, because like that's my Nana. Like, she's an 87-year-old woman. Like, I'm not trying to exploit her. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
of course not.
people might be like, people have even said like that's exploitative, but it's like she literally asked me to do it,
she asked you to do
and
it.
it brings people joy. Like, it's a silly idea in the beginning.
It's the
like,
perfect juxtaposition, having an elderly white woman read rap lyrics.
I was just gonna say,
like,
elderly white people do not like rap typically, like, or respect it, or even want to acknowledge it. So for her to be doing that,
she's
it's
just
like
cool. She's just so that's kind of how that shit started, and it's just grown to the point where, you know, I've been doing my podcast so long, like I've had big names, but like Frankie's been there. Like, people like The Alchemist and Harry Fraud have literally come out and fanned out to me.
That's crazy
because of Nana.
Like,
that's awesome.
They didn't fan out to me because of like my stand up, or like they didn't fan out to me because I gave a great interview. Like, they fanned out because I'm like some amazing woman's grandson. You know what I
so
mean?
Nana
like,
is responsible for a lot of your success.
Shout out to
so
Nana.
That's
much,
awesome.
so much. So
Shout out
much
to
success. Shout out to Nana. And it's so crazy because like that's the most proper woman. Like, you know, she came from nothing to then grow to this. So it's like, I just love that shit, and that she gets to be a part of something that she at first saw as like debaucherous, you know? Like,
that's awesome. I think the one where she did Big Pun has like a couple million views or something.
that one's at like 15 million across all platforms on views.
insane.
Like,
No
that
big deal.
shit's like, but that's like, that one just, you never know which ones are gonna be.
Yeah.
Like that Mario clip I posted.
I saw that from your podcast.
Yeah, that shit did like, I think that shit's
was a
at
good
like
one.
50.
I actually didn't know that also.
Yeah, it's at like 50 something
I don't
million
think I've seen this clip. What
views.
is
It's this rapper Rick Hyde and I were taking mushrooms and did a podcast.
Okay.
And he started talking about how originally it wasn't It's a Me Mario, it was Itsu Me Mario, which is
means
Super
I'm-
Mario.
So you knew this.
And it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
double entendre. Like, both of them are right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people say it's not true, but it is. It's like a double entendre.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So we're tripping on mushrooms, and he's telling me that. And you know when you're on mushrooms and everything's super. So we're like, oh my God, you know, like extra excited. And then I said a dumb joke at the end. I was like, damn, this is how they got back at us for nuking them. Like,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
nice,
like,
nice,
that-
yeah.
and that shit just went. That shit's literally like 50 million views across. Like, I never thought like us talking about Mario tripping on shrooms in Buffalo like at 2 a.m. was gonna be my biggest video ever. But like,
That's awesome.
you just never know. You literally never know what's the shit that's gonna take off or not.
Yeah.
That's why you just
Post
gotta
it
keep
all.
doing it.
So you're big into streaming these days, right?
Yeah. I'm new. No, I guess I'm like a year and 2 months into streaming.
Okay. So explain to me what streaming is really, because I know like guys like Kai Cenat and stuff are really big, and I just wonder like what is the goal with streaming?
Well, I see them having all that fun. Like, they just
Yeah.
look like they're having. they look like they're having so much more fun than whenever I see a podcaster.
Okay.
Whenever
That's
I see
fair.
a podcaster, they look like they're
That's so fair.
stressed. Aren't
Maybe,
they?
maybe we should
look-
stream instead.
They look
actually.
stressed, and I
Streamers
know
are usually
why.
playing something, though, right?
And no, you can do whatever.
can
I
just
do.
chill.
You can live stream your podcast.
You can just be sleeping.
That's literally that's
Yeah.
the thing is like because when you are recording a podcast, at least for me, you're thinking about how it could fuck up the whole time. And you're thinking about how the file could get corrupted, and you're thinking about how a video couldn't work, and you're thinking about how you're thinking
Yeah.
about all of that.
It's crossed
And-
my mind a few times.
and
yeah.
you're thinking about, oh, is the guest gonna show up? Is the you know what I mean? But when you're streaming, if it's not working, you know immediately.
yeah.
Like the first 2 minutes of every one of my live streams, you can go watch out, is me being, oh shit, I fucked up that. You know what
Yeah.
oh shit, I fucked up that. But then I'm like, oh, it's good. And then I can do all my podcasts live, and then like I don't have to worry about post production because it's there, like it's already out. And everybody has a podcast, so no one really wants to listen to people you don't care about talk. Like if no one's like a fan of you, then why? And I'm saying this as someone like I had my favorite rappers on, and no one wanted to listen to me talk. I had like
Yeah.
famous people on, and no one wanted to listen to me talk. So I'm like, why is it that no one wants to listen to people who have no one want to listen to them talk, and people don't want to listen to people who actually like have fans talk? And I'm like, oh, because they're not interacting with the fans.
Yeah.
Like people want a personal relationship
Yeah.
with the person they're listening to talk.
Yep.
Because why are you gonna? Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has videos online, so you can hear anybody talk. But it's like when you have a stream, I'm literally calling out everybody who's watching by name and saying thank you, Eric. Thank you,
People
Nick.
love that.
Thank you. You know,
People
what I
love when
mean?
you just say their name.
Yeah, and it's like they're like,
Say my
damn.
name, say my name.
I would listen to this, but I'm gonna listen to it more because he showed he actually like cares about me, and I do care about the fans. I have people who watch every single one, and I stream 15 to 20 hours a week. That's more than people watching TV shows. That's watching
15 to 20
That's watching
hours.
15 hours, 15 episodes of a TV show a week. Like people are watching
long
me
time,
do
yeah.
all that. Like I love those people. Like not in like I love those people. Like they love me enough to do that. Like I love them enough to support me that much. And that's I feel like how you build real fans.
Yeah.
Because now I love them for supporting me, and they love me because they know I'm consistent. And they know I'm going to put out content that they enjoy. And it's like when I'm a podcast, they comment something. I'm not answering that comment because I
Right.
recorded that podcast a month ago.
Right.
I'm on new things. Like,
a way
not
to
to
interact
be
in real
rude, like
time.
not to be
Yeah.
rude, because I'm not going to remember. Like, I don't even remember what I talked about on my 3-hour live stream I did earlier today.
Yeah.
So how am I going to
Oh.
remember? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
leave this podcast every time, and I'm like,
So how
what
are
did
you-
we just talk about?
How are you
I
gonna
have
go?
no idea.
How are you gonna get good clips? How are you gonna
Right.
go? It's like no, like if you have people on like on YouTube, I can tell when people are giving the laugh emoji.
Yeah.
So, oh shit, I got a huge like
live
I'll show
feedback,
you.
yeah.
I got a huge spike on laughs on this one. I can go to that moment and I know that's a good clip because
Yeah.
literally in real time, people are watching it and like telling me, oh, this is funny. Oh, this is not. Oh, I like this song. Oh, this is not. And people want to give people they like money. I support artists I like. I buy
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
I buy. I go to the movies twice a week. That's supporting art. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
dude, I
I
want to get into that at some point. The movie visits,
Yeah.
but we'll keep talking here.
I
yeah.
love supporting art. So like, some people send in because I do $10 a song listens, but it's like people aren't even sending in their music. They're just sending in songs to support because it's like
Oh wow.
I have $10. I'd go to Dunkin', but this dude's like actually making me laugh. And he's actually just been online for 4 hours making me laugh. Like, I'll give him $10.
So is this on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
So you're live on YouTube, and people can pay to have a song reviewed.
Yeah,
Any
or
song
they
that
can just
want.
give money, or
Yeah.
if they want to hear a song, because it's like it's a rap podcast. I want to listen to music, and
Yeah.
bro, 99%. I think truly in the year and a half I've done it, year and a couple months, there truly has been like 6 songs that I'd be like, I would never listen to that song again. It would never. There's no, and because even if a
Let's name
song's
'em.
bad, it can still be enjoyable.
Let's
'cause
name
it's
them.
like,
What's the
funny.
worst song
Who are the
you ever-
artists that you
I
like?
truly
otherwise?
don't even want to remember, but it's like
Come on.
I like listening to the bad rap sometimes because bad rap's
Oh, yeah.
funny. Like bad
Yeah.
rap's enjoyable.
We were just talking about this. With
So,
Justin.
like,
Yeah, bad music scratches that itch,
It
dude.
does. It does.
I
Do you know
like,
Hank Trill by
I
any
hate
chance?
listen. I hate listen to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
sometimes.
I
But
mean,
I
not
don't
even
even-
hate listen. I just like it even though it's bad.
exactly. So like I've kind of created this community of people who will make comedic songs on purpose.
Wait, so do you know Hank Trill?
Yeah. Not in
Propane Prophet?
I don't know him in
Sip a
person.
Code. Hey, I don't think anybody does. That's like a pseudonym or whatever, right?
Yeah. I know nothing. I just know because 1,000 showed me some song about him.
It's fire, but not fire at the same time.
But yeah, also like if no one sends in music, I don't really care. I'm still gonna be on stream talking shit. So it's like if people want to support me, they do. And truly, like sometimes you don't even know who's listening because like I'm a year into streaming and I was going viral with West Side Gun roofing. You know what I mean? Like I would get off the road with West Side Gun off the Griselda tour and I had to go roofing on Cape Cod in the winter. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, really?
that shit's not fun. You know what I mean? That
Could you
shit,
maybe
like,
help us with the roof here?
I'm done with that life.
Okay.
But you know that shit wasn't fun. So when I can do this streaming and I realized that people actually wanted to support me, I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
Like I had merch up, but they weren't buying the merch. Like
Yeah.
I had like, oh, this is the way that people act. It's like it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. You know what I mean? It's something I'm very I'm lucky to have the fans I do that they support me because it's
Yeah.
like when you aren't making any money from your art, the idea of making consistent money from your art, whether it be stand up, music, writing, movie, seems so it's like hearing another language and
Seems
you're like,
unattainable.
okay,
Oh
but
yeah, I
like,
can imagine that feeling. I guess
no, I'm
I-
saying, but it's like, but that's why you just gotta try crazy shit.
Yeah.
You just gotta swing for the fences, bro. You just
Yeah.
gotta like.
we want to stream. I've been
We
to-
should
I-
do.
I
some
announced
You
on
have
this
all the
podcast.
equipment for it, bro. Like you could be streaming this right now, and I could like whatever. This is but like Monday morning quarterbacking it. But like
Yeah.
I could have posted on Instagram like, hey, I'm gonna be on the Boston Big Four like podcast. Like
yeah.
I was like he saw me look, I was like, I don't want to fuck up the name.
fine, you're fine.
Like I could and then people would just come and watch it live with you, and then you
Yeah.
could see the comments.
And we have done that, but not in any like official way. We just had like a phone out while we were doing
Yeah,
this.
no, you do it through YouTube, through OBS, and I know this is not like fun to listen to, but it's really
Yeah.
once you learn, like
care.
through ChatGPT, just ask ChatGPT how to do it, and it'll go through how to set it all up. And then
We
you
actually
stream
have
it.
a streaming channel set up, and I've done it with video games a couple times, like as a test run. But doing a live podcast like that, I think, is a good idea.
And it fills up time, bro. There's times where you're like, oh, what am I supposed to say now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have another question. I don't want to end it, but then you just go to the chat. You just read a comment off the chat. You know what I mean?
I love
Oh,
referencing.
that's a
really-
good
it's
point.
like-
That's a good point.
it
There's
fills
always
time.
something to talk about when
Oh,
people
you
are.
can Google something online and show it on screen.
Yeah.
You can show me videos on screen,
Are
react
you
to the
allowed to
videos.
show the music? Like you can play the
Uh-huh.
music out loud.
There's certain videos that will get you pulled afterwards, but YouTube is good with that they won't affect your account
Doesn't
until
demonetize the stream.
afterwards. And if it does demonetize it afterwards, you can just clip it out.
Okay.
So like,
And it all still
yesterday that
posts to the
happened to a
channel, right?
stream. I
Like
was
the
like-
whole stream. Mm-hmm. What have you?
I had one
what if you say
song the
something
other
you
day.
shoot?
That has happened to get my guests. I've had 2 guests get in real trouble doing that. One with their job and one.
Oh man.
And you can clip it or pull it out.
I mean, like, no, everyone who was watching it saw it, and if those
see what you
people
mean.
recorded it, like a friend of mine got fired from her job because she worked up in the high up in the government, and she had signed NDAs for her job, and she dropped a coworker's name. Literally just said, "I work with this guy named Dan."
Dude,
And
the fucking names, man.
And someone
I-
from her work watched 2 hours into a
Oh my
live stream.
God, you would never
screen
guess.
recorded that, sent it to her job. They brought her into her job, showed her my live stream at the secret
That's
office,
crazy.
and she got
First
fired.
of all,
Like,
snitch.
super snitch.
Super snitch.
Super
Linda Tripp
snitch.
looking bitch.
But like, yeah, but you have to be smart, bro. Like there's not that many rules in podcasting. If you're really scared of fucking up, then it's probably not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're really scared that you're gonna say something wrong, or worry that it's going to get you in trouble, then you have to think about your lifestyle. You have to think about like.
Joe Budden said, I listen to his podcast sometimes, and he said, he's like, I made a decision one day that I was either going to give a fuck what people think or I was going to be a podcaster.
I'm never getting a real job again. I have to get this work. You know, Lil Uzi Vert in an interview was like, I got face tats because I could know no one would hire me ever again. And I was like, I respect that in a way where it's like, I've put shit out on the internet that I know no job is ever going to hire me.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, do you want? They're gonna pull up this podcast and talk about
the high school,
about the high school story, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you want to work at our job? Like, I can't have. This has to work. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if I don't make it, like, it's the Luffy shit. It's Luffy goes, if I die, like I die. You know
Come
what
aboard
I mean?
and
Like,
bring along
It's
all
that
your hopes
Luffy
and
shit.
dreams. Watch One Piece and don't watch the live action. If you do that first, you're a bitch, whole bitch, and nothing but a bitch. And you need to watch the whole thing. And if you didn't like it up to Arlong's Park, it's your fault. That's all I have to say. Do you agree?
I disagree.
Really? How far do you got to go?
I think if you're new, watch the live action, and if you like the live action, start where the anime picks up where the live action.
Okay, yeah, I understand that too. Yeah,
Because then that skips all the beginning filler. You get all that story just shoved in your throat.
they're
and
doing
then
a
you
new
can-
one though. They're remaking
Yeah.
it, so the pace will be a little bit better.
which I do like. But I like the pace if you. I'm serious. Just watch the live action, then pick up on the anime, and then you can go back and watch the other shit.
Are you
but
caught
it's
up?
like, no, I don't like being caught up on shows. I
How-
like being
how
able
deep
to
are we?
binge.
You're in Wano.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I'm probably
You seen Gear 5?
I'm like 2 episodes before Gear 5.
When
And
was the
I
last
knew that,
episode you watched?
like a couple months, like 2 months ago.
You're that close to Gear 5 and you didn't just watch the shit, dude?
It's gonna make it so much better when I
Pissing
have
me
200 episodes to binge. Like,
You already have 200 episodes to binge.
or 300. Bro, I watched 1,000 episodes in 6 months. Like,
Oh, me too. Yeah. No.
you know what I mean? Like,
I've-
I was watching them while I was driving. Like,
Oh, well, I'm not
like
doing
I
that.
was going, like, I
Safety
was
hazard.
literally like, my car drives itself.
Does it really?
Yeah,
You a
shout
Tesla
out
guy?
Subaru.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
All
a
right.
Tesla guy. But no, I was watching it while I was driving. Like, yeah, I
Talking
was
about things you can't say on a podcast, huh?
That you're a Tesla guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was obsessed with that shit. So I'm weird, bro. I just read, yeah. Now I'm in my audiobook phase. Like, all I do is listen to audiobooks all day.
What do you want right now? You getting smart or silly stuff?
I do like fiction. I try to read like good fiction, like maybe some humor. But like, I'm on a Stephen King kick right now, which I guess
Yeah,
is
you
good
mentioned him
fiction.
earlier, yeah.
But I just read The Talisman. I finished that earlier today, and now I'm reading.
Give me the cliff notes. What's
Of The Talisman?
Yeah.
The Talisman is a book that Stephen King wrote with Peter Straub. It's about a kid. He finds out his mom is dying of cancer,
Nice.
and the only way he can save her is to like go to another dimension and
Sick.
get this talisman on the West Coast, and he's on the East
Dude,
Coast.
fuck the American
So he
healthcare
has
system.
to go. He has to
That's
go.
crazy.
Right.
He literally. So he has to go across the whole country in this other dimension
Wow.
to save his mom. That's basically what
Wow.
it's about.
That is, yeah.
That's crazy. I offered this cancer curing talisman. Does it cure anything or just cancer?
Yeah, it's like God.
Oh, it's a God thing. Okay. It's good to have, I guess.
Stephen King shit. Have you either of you read Stephen King?
Not read, but I'm familiar with.
I have
his
not
stuff.
read him.
So when you
but
read Stephen King,
I know
you
he's from
can't-
Maine.
You can't describe what he writes about because it's really like esoteric and weird. But when you read it, you get it.
I know what
Like,
you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard his writing style is very like you're saying. He gives you what it is. There's no like style really to it.
Yeah, and it's like I remember being 200 pages of a book that he wrote, and I truly was like, I truly don't understand what the last 200 pages was about. Like I just read it, but I truly don't remember like what just happened. Like,
That's so funny. Dude, the last time that happened to me was on Harry Potter book 5, and I just gave up because I was like, there's too much bullshit in here. It was the longest one, I think, and it was just like way too much.
I've definitely felt that way when reading a book before.
that's why I don't
What
like
just
TV
happened?
shows. TV shows have too much filler now, bro.
Yeah. I've been actually trying to get back on a movie kick because I've seen too many shows, and I feel like you said, first of all, I know what's gonna happen. Like the archetypes are just all there. Usually, I'm like, fucking that guy did it, or like whatever. I'm like, it's just too. And if it's not there, it's purposely they hide things from you, you know. So I'm thinking of more like all this whodunit stuff that's been out lately. But like you said, then there's other shows like Yellowstone, for example. They go on too long. It's too many shows, too much.
Well, every show does the thing that Walking Dead was like. I feel like they were the first one to do it, where it was like they cliffhanger you, and then they make the intro to every episode really interesting. And then there's 30 minutes of dog shit. Then there's 30 minutes of dog shit. But then they make the ending, the last 10 minutes so good that you have to watch the next episode. And then the first 10 minutes are so good that you have to get to. But it's like if you just made a 20-minute show with the big first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, cut all that dog shit out in the middle, then I'd actually watch your TV shows.
I gave up on The Walking Dead and like season 7. But I originally gave up. I gave up on The Walking Dead multiple times. But the first time I gave up was after they get to the farm. Because I was like, you did it. That's this in real life, you did it. That's it. And then, I don't know if it's just like, you know, fucking 30 years later. So I don't think this is spoilers if you want to watch the show. But shows like that, there's conclusions. But then they were like, we're making money off this. So then they went, I think there's like 13 seasons. It's too many.
Yeah.
It's too many.
That is too many.
I gave up on it again in season 7 right after the Negan stuff. So I don't know. Are you deep on that?
No. I don't give a shit about that.
I've seen too many shows. And I agree with you. There's too much.
Yeah, I don't like TV shows. I'm a movie guy.
What's your favorite movies? Oh, you go to the movies twice a week. We were going to talk about
Twice
this.
a week.
Yeah, twice a week.
How long you been doing that?
And you don't have the pass. You just go.
Yeah, I just go. But on Tuesdays, they have $7 movies.
7, dude. It was $5 back in like 2008. So
it was
that's-
back in the day, yeah.
So
It's pretty
like,
good.
I
And
don't
even
know,
though we're
Tuesdays.
19 and we're
I'm not
barely 11
spending
at the
that
time.
much. I'm like, I spend a lot of money on food and shit. It's like movies isn't. If I had a family, I'd be spending a lot on movies. But like,
trust me, I don't think you're balling for going to the movies twice a week. I'm just surprised you go twice a week and you don't have the pass.
I like. They don't have passes at any of the theaters near my. If they did, I would have it. But they don't have the passes in the theaters near me. But like, yeah, I just like the idea of going to a movie. If I'm at home and I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie right now, I'm gonna start thinking about work, and then I'm gonna start working because I don't have a schedule, so I always will work. But if I'm in a movie,
let's put a pin in that. You never feel like you can turn off?
ever, unless I'm in a movie theater, or I'm tripping on mushrooms,
Okay.
or there's like those are probably driving, smoking a joint, going for a run.
Only one of those is kind of good.
Being
far.
being on stage, like being in a flow state for me is super duper difficult. I'm just a very
Really?
anxious person. So to be
I thought you didn't have anxiety.
I do, but I don't let it stop me.
I love that.
I have I have the worst anxiety. I probably should be medicated for my anxiety. I self-medicate on an ounce of weed a week. Like I definitely
Nice.
An ounce a week.
definitely like
Nice.
having definitely, but I'm not gonna let it stop me. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But when I'm in a movie theater, I can't be on my phone. It's dark.
Yeah.
And if I'm high, I'm locked in. Like that's 2 hours that I don't have to think about anything other than like how cool what's happening on screen is.
Yeah.
And that shit's the best feeling in the whole world. Like that shit's such a good feeling that yeah, like if I can spend $30 a week or $50 a week to have that, just 5 hours of pure bliss, like pure, like where I feel calm and happy.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And like my girl will be like, I don't want to go sit. I work. Like I don't want to go sit in the movies. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like my shit's so chaotic all the time that to have that locked in, I'm like,
and to be in a place where you
shit's-
can't really be on your phone too, you know,
Exactly.
for that, that's huge.
And movies are dope as hell. Like to watch a good action movie and you're like, or a horror movie and you're scared, or comedy, like anything. I'll watch some depressing ass drama just to go. Like,
Do you still consider that part of the 5 hours of bliss, even if it's sad?
The Brutalist. I watched fucking Adrian Brody get raped in the ass.
Yeah, you did mention that earlier. I don't like
still,
that.
Like, that's still like he won an Oscar for it. You know what I mean? Like,
He earned that Oscar.
yeah, that's actually what. Yeah, that's how they stretched him out.
Dude, I thought Harvey was out of the business. I didn't think that was still happening, dude.
Like, yeah, like I like all that shit. Like the Smurfs movie is coming out the day after my birthday.
Wait, there's not. I thought there was one.
There's a new one.
There's a new
There's
one, of course.
a new one.
Of course there is.
And Frank, you're finding out about this right now. For my birthday, I like to bring all my friends together and just do a chill day. One of those, a full day where I don't think about anything.
Twins.
Okay.
Dude,
Favorite
same.
thing. So,
When's your birthday?
July 17th. So I'm gonna
Nice.
make all my friends go to the beach with me on Cape Cod. We're gonna all stay on Cape. We're gonna stay all day and get drunk on the beach, and then I'm making them all go see the Smurfs with me.
That's awesome.
This is gonna be a group of like the craziest people from all walks of life you've ever seen, who are all going to see the Smurfs.
Hell yeah.
That is amazing.
And
Hey,
that's
nothing
gonna be
wrong with
my
that.
birthday.
Nothing wrong with that. A bunch of boys going to see the Smurfs.
I love it.
Yeah.
Getting a little banged up and going to see the Smurfs.
Bro, literally, and my girl, we were in the movie seeing Lilo and Stitch, and she's like, I'm not going to see the Smurfs. And then
Hater.
yesterday, I saw the date that it came out, the day after my birthday, and I was like, oh, she's going to see the Smurfs.
I love it.
She either sees the Smurfs or ruins my birthday.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's crazy. I do love the idea of just like making all the boys do something fun for your birthday, and like because as we get older, especially as guys, people are like, stop making a big deal out of your birthday, but it's kind of funny too.
I feel like I feel like there is a time like around 30, like late 20s, where you're like, yeah, stop making it a big deal. But then you get,
but
to,
don't,
like,
yeah. What do you, when can you have fun?
But then you get to a
So-
point where you're like, I think I want to make it a big deal again because I missed that.
Nah,
Dude.
fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit, bro. What day a year do you and all your friends
That's
get
what I'm
together?
saying,
Not
yeah.
Doesn't
Christmas,
happen.
not
Doesn't
Christmas.
happen.
I
not
try to
any
have regular boys'
holiday.
days as often as I can.
Yeah.
But all your friends
It
from
never
all
happens.
walks of
It
life,
never
like,
happens.
I
Well,
have
that
friends
never
from work.
happens.
I have friends from work. I have friends from my international high school. I have rappers. I have comedians.
International high school?
I have I have people like come from, bro. People like just random people that I don't know. That I know my friend loves and will like to spend my birthday with me. Like I just want a good vibe, right? Like
I love
that's what
that.
we do.
How did you go to international high school? What happened there?
I guess I used to be smart or whatever. I smoked that shit all away, but yeah, I got a full ride to a school called Cushing Academy
I don't know about this.
when
name.
I was so I graduated high school in 2015, and so I got a full ride, and it was like $60,000 a year. And I got a full ride, and it was like people
guy's
from
fucking
all
rich.
over. I didn't
Where-
pay a dollar.
Where is
Yeah,
this?
but you are rich in intellect or whatever. You know?
Intellect, but I was like, I couldn't afford that school.
Where was it?
Are you kidding me? It
Where
was
is
in
it?
the middle of the woods, bro.
Where?
Ashburnham, Mass.
Ashburnham, Mass.
Yeah.
Gross.
All right.
You, bro.
Interesting.
Who was that? Who was that old famous, not Larry Bird, white player, basketball player?
Bob Cousy? John
No,
Havlicek?
a little bit newer. Damn, his son was in my class, and he had the same name, but it was a junior. I forget what it was.
I don't know.
Damn, but like the King of Bhutan, which is a country in Asia, went to my school. Like, it was dumb shit, and I just got a full ride because like they liked. I don't know. They thought I was gonna do great things, and now I'm doing podcasts and shit. and
You're doing
smoking
great
You're doing
things.
great
Yeah,
things,
don't say
man.
that.
But,
You're
like-
doing great things.
But like, yeah, that's how I got to go to an international high school.
That's wow. And what town did you grow up in?
I was born on Cape, lived
Yeah.
there until I was like 3. Then I moved to Pepperell, Mass.
Pepperell, Mass.
And then I really grew up in Fitchburg and Lowell. Well, my parents got divorced when I was a kid, and my dad moved to Lowell, and my mom moved to Fitchburg. And so I would bounce between those two places.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn. So that was probably not too long of a commute to high school then.
No. When I was in Fitchburg to high school, it was like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so I was a day student, and there was only like 8% of the school was day students.
Oh, so they mostly board, of course, international.
Everyone boarded. Like, this was like rich, just rich families. Like,
Still in contact with these people? Are they helping you out?
no. No, they don't want. I'm going to my reunion next weekend.
Oh, right. They were disappointed.
yeah.
And
Are they gonna bitch you out
be
again?
even more mad because I've doubled. Because before, no one even knew who I was. I was just doing it.
Yeah.
Now people know who I am. Like now I'm like I kind of like 5 years ago. My last that was a 5 year. Now it's the 10 year. Like 5 years ago to now, I'm a whole fucking different person. You know what I mean? This is a whole different beast. They're gonna be so mad.
I love that you still go though.
Yeah, those are my best. Like, I don't get to see those people ever. You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's an international high school. Like, everyone lives all over the world. Like, I don't get to see people, so I'm gonna
so
go.
you are still, they're still the homies.
They're still the students are the homies.
Okay.
But the school is gonna be like, Sam Buck's coming. Like,
Yeah.
Who cares about the school?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on.
Whatever.
if I blow the fuck up, like if I get famous, they're gonna love me again. You know what I mean? It's just this bad.
Yeah,
They'll
you'll be
invite you-
notable alumni for
yeah.
sure.
They'll
It's
ask
just
you to do
this
the commencement
bad
speech.
Middle,
Yeah.
It's just this bad middle ground where like
Are there, who are notable alumni?
John Cena was my
No way.
John Cena was my high school graduation speaker, so he handed
No,
me
but he
the
wasn't
diploma.
notable alumni.
He
right?
went there?
Yeah, he graduated.
Cushing Academy, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and
John
he,
Cena?
That's why remember the shit where he spoke Chinese and people were freaking out.
I saw
that
him
he
do that
spoke
at my company
Chinese?
one time, and people tested him with Chinese because there were a lot of Chinese people, and they spoke back to him, and they were like, "Oh, good
And people
job,
were freaking out because they thought it was some like China. It's like no, he went to an international high school with a lot of Chinese people.
No. He learned it to do WWE in China.
He went to but they taught Chinese at my school. Like he
But
took
was
Chinese.
he fluent in high school, or did he get
probably
fluent
learned
because
it.
of the WWE?
He probably like started learning it.
I
like-
watched a video of him saying that it was because of the WWE outreach that he fully learned Mandarin. So I don't know, dude.
I'm trying to find the picture.
But he went to your school. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, actually, that's why.
That is nuts.
I'm looking up notable alumni right
Yeah,
now.
who
we
are some
go.
other ones? Who else we got? Oh wow.
Wow,
Hey.
what a hunk, huh?
Wow, it's just
John
a
Cena's
picture.
there,
It's just
too.
a picture of Sam Buck and no one else. That's crazy.
Why'd you just show us that sick picture of you? Okay, Cushing Academy boasts a notable alumni network with several well-known figures. Notable alumni include actress Betty Davis, interior designer Nate Berkus, and WWE wrestler and actor
I only recognize John Cena, to be honest. I don't know the
and
other people.
also comedian and
comedian
podcaster Sam Buck.
Yeah,
It says that here too.
Nate Berkus is like he's like Oprah's
It does
biggest.
say the
he's
school
like
also-
if you
Okay.
go to Target, all that shit's like Nate Berkus.
You mentioned that the
what?
king of
Like all the like interior home design
Yeah.
shit is all like Nate Berkus was like the Target guy.
Okay.
he's kind of like
All right.
Joanna Gaines or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, so you mentioned that the king of Bhutan. It says the school also counts. So here's the thing. Google highlights all those names I just talked about, but then there's a sentence after that that says the school also counts His Majesty, and I'm not going to try to pronounce this. And then it just puts in parentheses King of Bhutan among its graduates. So what
No
they
name.
just give him an honor? No. His name's there. I'm just not going to try.
Okay.
It's not. It's just Google the King of Bhutan. It's not worth me trying right now.
Shout out the King
I'll
of
do
Bhutan.
it wrong. But it's just funny. Like, did he go there? Are they giving him an honorary? Diploma
No, he
or
did
what?
go there. He did go there.
Okay.
Well, it's just funny how it says it separately. Like, oh, here's all these notable alumni, but it also counts this guy.
Paul
Very
Thomas
interesting.
Anderson went there, who's like a pretty famous film director. He did like There Will Be Blood,
Okay.
and like Magnolia, but he went there for like a year and got kicked out for smoking weed.
Okay.
Oh, dude, is that public?
I don't know. It is now.
Clip it. Interesting. So, you must have shows coming up. Where can we catch you? Are you going to be in Massachusetts, or are you still traveling all over?
I'm traveling all over. I'm gonna be announcing a bunch of dates very soon.
Okay.
Just
We're
getting
putting this
everything-
out like right now, so this will not be future.
Oh
so-
yeah. So honestly, just follow me at Sam Bucked Up to see future dates, and watch me at the Sam Buck of Bucked Up Podcast YouTube page.
Okay.
I'm on there streaming 15 hours a week, or or more sometimes. So just if you want to talk to me or come see me or have me listen to your music or just listen to me talk shit, just go over there and you can watch me almost every day live.
Love it.
Sounds good. Yeah, and we'll have to have you back on sometime. There's going to be more to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm
this
sure.
is hella fun.
I
Thank
feel
you
like
guys
we
so
just
much.
scratched the surface.
Well, it's crazy how this happened.
How did it happen?
Okay, oh, you don't know the story.
No, I don't know the
Oh,
story.
Yeah,
this is-
actually, we have talked
You
about this,
actually
yeah.
don't even know the story either.
Wait, there's a full story.
There's a full story. So my
Okay.
dad bought me tickets to the One Piece day because he knows how much I love One Piece and he loves the Red Sox. So that's how we'll go together,
Okay.
get the jerseys, and take some edibles.
Yeah.
Shout
So
out
we're
to
Nice.
high as. Can I tell your job on? Do you mind if I
I
say
talk
what
about it,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So my dad and I are high as fuck on edibles, waiting for a drink to come because we're just locked into our seats waiting,
Yeah.
watching the Red Sox, and finally, we see you holding the waters coming up to our
savior.
section, and we're like, oh my god, it's the water guy. Like, we've been waiting for him for like 3 innings.
I don't think I sold you water, did I?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I forgot the whole. Yes,
I was gonna say, I don't think I sold you anything.
The inning before, we waited for the water so much that we got up and we got sodas.
Okay.
And we went and
I
bought
was the water
drinks.
guy that day.
You were the water guy that
Oh
day.
my
you were the one.
God.
You are right though, because you took. Yeah, I'll shit you out. You
I
took
must
so
have-
long to come to our
Well,
section.
so here's the thing: it's not exactly my fault
you took
because
so long that we had to get up.
I
and
was
go
probably
get-
out of right field, so I was making my way. You guys were like on the third base line, so I
Yeah.
had made my way over at that point. But
Literally,
yeah,
yeah,
my
so
bad.
that is what happened.
That
He was
is
getting
my
there.
bad.
We had just gotten drinks, and then literally we get to the seats. That's exact, and we were like, "It's the water guy!" Right when we sat down with the drinks, and then you came up and you were like, "Sam," and I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" 'Cause
'Cause I
we're
remember
so
I
high.
passed you guys, and then
Yeah.
I was like, "That's Sam Buck," but I like sold some to somebody else, and then I
Yeah.
came back down, and I was like, "I got."
I was like, did he hear me talking shit in my brain about how we just
Oh,
got
I
up
heard,
and got-
dude. Trust me.
Did
People
he
think
hear-
I don't know, but I can tell just by the look on your face if you're mad at me or not.
That's so funny. And then you came back and said, Sam, and then I was like, oh, that's like a cool serendipity thing right there. But you didn't sell us water, so fuck you for that.
My bad. I would have just given you water. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know you were looking for it.
We had just gotten. How much does that come out of your paycheck if you give a water away?
Yeah, but I would have given you one. I don't care.
Wow.
I can get you water. It doesn't matter.
Have you ever dropped it?
Yeah, I've dropped stuff. Yeah,
Have you ever dropped stuff
There's a-
on somebody?
There's a clip.
not on people, but yeah. So where I was on a podcast, you can the clip's out there. But basically, I was talking about. He asked me like a crazy thing that's happened at Fenway, and it had recently happened just last season where I forget who did it, but he struck out and he let go of the bat and it like flung over the net into the stands, and it like almost hit me. Like I had just come out of that seat and it was like really close to hitting me, and I dropped my box, but it was just like a light box of pizza. But I've dropped chowder and I've dropped lemonade before.
What's the heaviest of the boxes?
The heaviest thing's probably lemonade.
Okay.
Heavier than hot dogs?
Hot dogs are deceiving. It's a big metal bin, but it's aluminum, and it's empty in there. It's just like hot dogs in a big aluminum bin. It's big, but it's light, so it's like cumbersome and stuff. But it's not as heavy as like the lemonades are all liquid. It's a thick plastic, and then there's a metal tray that holds all of them. So that's probably like 40, 50 pounds like all together.
So I had an all-access pass to Fenway when Fall Out Boy performed because my boy's in 4 Years Strong, and I got to do a podcast on the Green Monster.
Oh, hell
But
yeah.
before he
That's
got
sick.
there, we were waiting for the passes, And
I was working that show.
and I
Your
was-
boys
were
in
you?
4 years strong?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Joe's the bass player. Shout out Joe.
They're local, right?
They're in Worcester.
Okay, yeah.
And so my boy and I were like, let's see if this works. We snuck into Fenway through the food line. And then we were like, imagine we just start serving nachos. Like, we're literally fully in as workers right now.
That's
and we had
awesome.
all access passes,
They
but
would
we
know-
didn't. We didn't show anyone passes. We didn't.
They
like,
would definitely know, like, workers know who belongs in the room. It's funny because, like, that has happened before. Like, I've had a fan wander into, like, where we get our shit ready, and, like, literally everyone's just like, who the fuck is that? It's like,
I
there's
know. I know how to get into events. I
Yeah.
get into events with passes now, but how I started all this shit is I used to sneak into events.
Okay.
And like I would know someone backstage. So if I could sneak in and get to that one person, then I'd be good. It was like a video game when I started.
I feel
so
that.
like
Oh, like the cheat,
I
you know
like
that
to-
cheater
What's the
one
most,
where you'd have to like go around the classroom and avoid the teacher's gauge.
Exactly. Like
That's
so
hilarious.
I'm very good at sneaking into
What's the most
backstage.
memorable event you snuck into? What's the best story you can give us?
Probably like Action Bronson in New York City, like being on
Okay.
stage.
You gotta have some
with
crazy New York
Action-
stories.
Yeah. I didn't sneak in at all, but I didn't have a pass going into this last Millie's show
Okay.
at Fenway, and I just showed up, and as I pulled up, the person that could get me in was right there.
It's
I
funny. you say
bet I
that.
know who that
like-
person
Yeah, I
was.
was gonna say. I also
like-
know. I have not heard of one person. I don't know if I should be saying this. I haven't heard of one person that paid for a ticket for that show. Everyone just got in or had.
But
tickets.
I got the shit where I was up on stage and it was cool. Like
Oh, you were up there.
yeah.
That's
yeah, well,
sick.
like
I saw,
Jada
I
Kiss
saw the video
and-
you posted
yeah.
when Benny was up there.
Yeah, and
Jada.
I went up to Bia. You know who Bia is?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
of
so I went to
course.
Bia and I was like, "Yo, my girl and I like love your music. Can I take a picture with
Bia,
you to send to
Bia.
her?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'll do you one better. Let me do a video for her." So Bia did like a whole video for my girl up on stage.
That's
like,
amazing.
I got
She
to send
puts
to
on
her.
her
She was
jewelry
probably
just to go
like-
to the bodega.
She was like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, "That's kind of." Honestly, I'm a huge Bia fan.
How
now
long have you
'cause of
been with
that.
your girl? Was that like big brownie points?
That was super big brownie points.
Yeah.
It's not a long relationship. It's
Yeah.
not like I ain't gonna be like we've been. in
Oh,
a
girl,
long
no,
time,
he
but,
didn't mean
like,
it like that.
But
That's not.
But that was a good. That's a good move. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
Definitely.
That's not like that's Bia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
What's that
great.
app where you pay for people to give like a
Cameo?
message? Cameo?
I used to pay
Yeah.
for cameos for girlfriends, like as a joke.
No way.
And now I'm getting them for free. That's a bar right there.
That is,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that is a bar.
Wait, would you put out a track ever? You rapping?
I'll do like joke music. My friend and I freestyled a song about smoking dust the other day. On my
Smoking
live
dust.
And
Nice.
that was pretty cool. Remember that one, Frank? Did you see it? Me and Beeps rapping about doing dust. That was pretty cool. But no, I would never rap seriously. I would do it like jokingly, or like if one of my bigger rapper friends wanted to ghostwrite a song for me, and like it was known like that I'm rapping a song written by
Okay.
this big
Yeah.
rapper, then I would do something like that because that show would be funny.
That would be funny. Or your grandmother could do that too.
Exactly. Like
That'd
that
be
shit like but like no, I ain't gonna try to serious rap. You know what I mean? That shit's just corny for me.
Yeah.
I hate people who try to get into rap that way. Like people who are like painters
Yeah.
or I don't want to call I feel like I don't want anyone to take it offensively, but like say you started a rap podcast just so you could meet rappers to do a
to
song
become
with
a
them.
rapper. Yeah, yeah.
You'd be
No,
like,
that's
"Oh,
yeah.
you suck cock." Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like that's so corny. That's
Yeah.
corny.
Hanging
That's-
out with artists so you can eventually become an artist is not the
That's
move.
not
That is
cool.
not
That's
crazy.
not cool. That's
like
why
wannabe shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I first started the podcast with comedians. I knew a couple bigger comedians, so I try to get like bigger comedians on. But I'm like, this is kind of weird because it's like I'm hoping to get like, what am I
Yeah.
hoping to get? Like, I'm interviewing rappers because I like rappers. I don't want to be a rapper. I'm a comedian. Like that's why it works. You know
That's
what
valid.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's
And you've been into rap for a long
Yeah, you're not
time,
interviewing
obviously.
fucking athletes to try to get on the Celtics. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
you're not trying
Yes,
to get
yeah,
drafted.
no, yeah.
If
You're
that
right.
was a possibility, I might,
exactly. Yeah. No, that's weird. Yeah, we don't do that.
No.
just,
Don't,
like, trying
don't,
out
sign,
for,
don't
like-
sign me, Celtics. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
interested.
lame. That's
Yeah.
lame, dude. We don't want to be on the Celtics.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
No, I do know what you mean.
if
There's,
you were
I
like,
got
you
you.
interviewed a coach and you were like, let me just run to the bathroom and you do the 40. Like, to the
like,
bathroom.
wow, that's
Oh,
the
wow.
fastest
Yeah.
one we ever
I must
seen.
have, that time was really good. Like,
Hey, would you mind doing that again? He just pulls out his wallet.
yeah. I've seen that with dudes who are like, yeah, they'll start freestyling on their own podcast. And it's like,
Oh, dude, hold on.
You can tell.
I have wanted
Yeah.
to do that so bad, though. I love freestyling.
No, we do like to freestyle.
I've been.
But we're not like trying to be like famous musicians unless like
No.
somebody wants to sign us or something. you
Yeah,
know
unless
what I
maybe
mean?
someone
Like-
thinks that would be a good idea.
I think you
maybe-
have a better chance of getting on the Celtics.
I actually disagree with you. I think that we have a much better chance.
No,
of
we'd
it.
have a much better chance of music than with
Yeah,
the
for
Celtics.
sure. Yeah, much lower overhead, much higher chances.
Maybe if the two of you became one Celtics player in a trench coat.
That could work.
That's a good shot, actually. You could be the shooter. Definitely, you're top. Jack's
He's the top and you're the
Definitely,
bottom.
dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
promise you,
Yeah,
I've
you'll be
never
the
played
bottom.
basketball ever, so Jack's got to shoot.
Does your girl know you're a bottom?
She knows now, yeah. She actually told me that if I'm not a bottom, it's over. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do now with that information.
It's all about compromising. you know?
Yeah, no, honestly, no basketball skill. I probably don't even have the bottom skill either.
I was gonna say you got to be able to just jump a little bit.
He's got to be able to
But-
take
Oh, I
it.
can jump a little bit.
Yeah,
When you're a
yeah.
bottom, you just got to be able to take it.
Yeah, that's right. Just gonna maneuver a little
Just bend
bit.
over
Yeah.
and take
Get in the
it.
right
No,
spots.
you're gonna take a beating down
It's
there.
all
for
about
sure.
angles, I think, as a bottom is my understanding. But
And
yeah.
comfy chairs.
Right. That
yeah.
seems like that'd be a part of it. Yeah.
You know, now that you mention that, yeah.
A
Anyways.
soft couch is a big part of being a bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that nice comfortable base.
And a warm towel.
Well, good thing we're not going to be on the Celtics. We don't have to worry about any of that. But dude, we were like half wrapping up 10 minutes ago, but we were talking about the New York thing a little bit. How often are you in New York? Like, are you making frequent visits or
I'm going tomorrow.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. Yeah, I go to New York probably once a month. It's
Like Buffalo, New York, or New York City?
I'm going to New York City tomorrow, but like I'd be going. I don't know. Travel. Once you start traveling, like Frank's a real road dog. That's why I love him. Like he'll fucking do anything. Like shout out Frank. Yeah, we're literally driving to New York separately tomorrow.
Okay.
Same destination?
No.
No way. Interesting.
But like once you realize that travel's only a mental thing,
Yeah, we were talking about that a little
like
bit.
bro, like if you said you love watching TV, that's like 4 hours. Like a 4-hour drive will get you to New York. Like,
Wow, yeah.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, I've done that.
People act like
do
a
the
4-hour
drives.
drive
Yeah.
is like such a big.
People act like a $60 hotel, you're gonna fucking die. It's like, bro, like you can
People
save
spend
money.
$60
You can
on
eat-
dinner.
Yeah, you can spend, bro. You know how many like 2-for-4s I've eaten and stayed in shitty hotels to like,
Yeah.
and then going hanging out with like big ass rappers wearing huge chains, and then
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
back to my Red Roof Inn eating my McDonald's and shit.
I
You
love
know
that.
What I mean, like
I love that.
that shit's just like travel's nothing. It's if you can get in the right rooms, then like you can't think about travel. If you can get in those rooms, you have to do whatever you can to get in those rooms.
Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit with this guy that came in on Causeway. I don't know if you're familiar, but he's the type of guy, like, you'll see him at events in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, anywhere. Like, he's there the next day.
All in one
And you're
weekend.
like, how's that possible? And it's true, like you said, like, so this is, it's past now, but like an example of what you said driving to New York, our boy Eastman, who is our third mic when we do the boys episodes, he hit me up. This is back in 2014. He was like, hey, I got an extra ticket to Eminem, but it's in New York at MetLife Stadium. If you can drive, let's go. And it was like we were in Massachusetts at like 3 p.m. We're like, we have to leave right now. So we left, saw the show, and it was my first day of my internship the next morning. And I just didn't sleep and drove back, did the shit and went to an internship, and everything worked out totally fine. And I was like, you got to do it.
It always works out.
We got to do more of that with this type of shit, I feel like we're not always traveling, but we make it work locally, definitely. If there's anything around,
we could travel more for sure.
But you guys have a super easy setup that you could set this up. Like if you got a big suitcase, put all this shit in a suitcase, you could set this up and you get rent a room.
It's funny you say that because we used to run this out of his house and it was portable every time.
Portable.
Yeah, I brought it every time.
Do you know what's better than $150 an hour studio? An $80 hotel room.
Yeah. Well, this is also
bring
why
the-
I've
you bring
invested in
this-
the equipment because I'm not paying anyone else. I
You
want to
get
have it.
this a little smaller, and you put this up in your hotel room,
Yeah.
and then you can.
We
can
do have a
record-
smaller one. Yeah, it's
yeah,
actually
you
over
can
there.
record in any hotel room, and that's a cheap ass studio.
So you've recorded a lot of podcasts in hotel rooms.
Oh, I've seen
probably,
you.
right?
You do
Yeah.
them anywhere, like shoe
I
shops,
don't
wherever.
give a fuck. I'll do them outside. I've done ones in my car. We've
Yeah.
just Frank got so drunk he had to on the podcast. He's throwing
Shout out,
up
Frank.
outside
No,
my car,
Frank.
and we didn't have a place
Where
to
can we
record.
follow Frank?
At FGZEFFGEEZY.
Yeah, we're gonna get you out there if you're cool with that. Yeah, we'll take you out if you don't.
But no, literally, I'm interviewing a rapper. I'm in the driver's seat. He's in the passenger seat, and I just had my phone up and I had the microphone.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
rapper
you got the
was it?
lav mics.
What was that? Sammy Snow, one of Conway the Machine's artist, Sammy Snow. So it's like I just don't give a shit. Like who gives a shit if I can have a shitty looking podcast and make it happen, or not have a podcast.
Content is more important than the quality of the
is.
production. But I still think the production quality is kind of like one of those things that's becoming more standard these days. People don't expect like a fuzzy phone podcast every time, but
I don't think so. I think if the editing,
I would
good,
say
I
the
think if you
majority of
edit
them
the
you're
clip,
not going to see phone quality. But I know what you're saying.
I mean,
It's more important that it's an interesting podcast than it's on a phone. But either way,
Yeah, I mean, this is how I feel. The file size of shooting on a camera is so large. So if you don't have equipment to edit your large file sizes, then record on your phone. And if it's shitty,
Yeah.
I got the video, the fucking Mario video that gets
Yeah.
50,000 is iPhone quality blurry.
Yeah.
Like that's my.
it
I've
shouldn't
never
be
had.
blurry on an iPhone though, right?
It is when you zoom in to shoot it
Oh, I
on
see.
a clip. Like if I put my iPhone there and film us all,
Yeah.
But when I do the clip, I'm gonna zoom in on you when you're talking.
That
and then
happened
I'm
with the
gonna zoom
Kenny
up.
Anderson video. A couple of the clips were like
'Cause
really
those were
blurry,
zooms,
'cause
yeah.
I zoomed them in.
It's
yeah.
like if it's good content, it's good content. I think if your production quality is holding you back from creating content, then
Yeah.
True.
then
Yeah.
you're
That
not,
should never be the case.
Well,
yeah.
the content is first. Production
That's number
quality
one.
is another key piece, though.
6 years into my podcast, I just upgraded my equipment for the first time ever.
Okay.
There you go.
6 years. I've had the same equipment since I started. Basically, maybe I like got a new microphone when I needed one or whatever, but basically, this is the first major overhaul I had in 6 years, and I think I've done, I don't know, 80 million views with no shitty, with the worst with literally beginner equipment.
Yeah.
So it's like I just come from a different mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And I'm
other
not
people
saying you're
disagree.
wrong, yeah.
Totally, that's what I mean. But it's like for me, I feel like the Luffy way for me is like I don't give a fuck. I
Yeah.
truly don't. Like
That really is the Luffy way. Yeah.
if people like it, they do, and if they don't, and if shitty quality makes a rapper storm off or a guest storm off, then that's the best content you're ever gonna get.
That is
Like,
good content.
You know what I mean? Like
If they get to the point where they're on the episode in the first place, but if they don't
Exactly,
even, if they see
exactly.
the quality and they're like, I don't know about that, but obviously you've had no trouble with that. So
no, but you guys have like that account, the account with like 20,000 followers is y'all's. Like
I think so.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
That's ours.
bro, like I mean, that's a good. You should be able to reach out to people. Like that's a reach out from that account and reach out to everybody. Like that's enough followers that people are like, I'll do something, and then they could come here and see this, which is dope as hell. And if maybe they don't know what to expect, but that's what I mean. You have enough followers that people are like, yeah, I'll do it. Like
hope so.
there is a way, but it's like you just have to be super shameless about like. I can't pay you to come on. I love you.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think podcasts should be paid. I
No.
feel like that's a very weird. I've only
I would never
heard of
pay
some
someone to
people
come
doing
on.
that. I think
I've paid people to come on my podcast. Not a lot, but like I interviewed this horror,
who it is, I
this
guess.
horror director who lived in like Yugoslavia.
Who?
His name is Adrian Tofay, and he directed this movie that has like 60,000 views on YouTube, and that's the
What is
only
the
way.
movie?
It's called Be My Cat,
hold on.
and it's
I
a
need to-
found footage.
And you had to
film.
pay him to get him on?
I paid him $100
That's
Why?
because in his currency,
Yeah.
that shit's probably a lot of money. But it's
Yeah.
like
Was he not going to come on for free? Did you try to
he
get him on
could
for
have,
free?
he
Sorry,
could
would you
have.
say it
But
was something my cat?
Be My Cat,
My Cat.
a film for Anne Hathaway is what it's called.
Did you try to get him on for free?
Yeah, I
And he
see
said
it, I see
he
it.
just
I
wasn't
asked
there?
him, and then he
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, can you give me some like? Do you mind giving me some money?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't." But it's like I don't really. It's a job. Like
82K. I'm watching this later.
I think I don't know. I used to feel that way about it, but the more bigger people I talk to, they're like, "Yeah, it's our job." Like if I owned a company and my friend had a catering business and I had events every week and I was making money off of their catering every week, I'm like, yeah, come make the burgers for this event for free.
Oh, I see. what
Because you're my
saying.
homie.
Yeah.
And come
Yeah.
make a burger every
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Then you'd be like, all right, but this isn't like a. This
I'm not
is,
making anything here.
So I feel like with podcasts, like
But
to
you're not making
promote
food for
somebody,
free.
if you're you know how much time you put in and money you put in. Imagine if someone did offer you money to come on, it's the same amount that you could get paid for a week of your job.
Oh, if that so
Is
here's the thing.
really
if
really
there's that type of money to
selling
give
your.
around and everyone's eating, sure.
But that's what I
like,
mean, because it's like
to expect though, if you're like, for me to come on your podcast is $500.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
100%, 100%.
But if you as the host, like like if we had it like that, I'd be like, just to make it worth your while. Come
say
on,
there's
here's
say
$100.
you
Like,
guys blow the fuck up and get 1 million listeners a week, and there's somebody who wants to promote their shit on your page, but you know that your production cost for an episode is, let's say, it costs $2,000. At
it
that
does
point.
actually.
It costs
Thank you for
$2,000.
pointing that out. It cost us $2,000
For me,
to do an episode.
let's say for me, every podcast I record would cost about $150 to $200. So if I'm having every single person that wants to be on, I'm literally losing thousands of dollars to promote other people's shit.
Yeah.
How is that helping anyone? You know what I mean? Because then I'm not even going to want to do the podcast anymore because I'm losing money on it.
Becomes a job and
It
it's costing
becomes
you money.
yeah, bro. Do you know what really selling your soul is? Like having to have 2 jobs. You know what I mean? Like, you know what really selling your soul is? Having a boss. Like getting money from your art, whether it be anything, painting, music, podcast, comedy, making money from it is winning. Like it's not a hobby anymore. It's your job. And if you want it to be your job, you got to treat it like a job. You got to. And that mentality shift is something that was drilled into me that I used to fight so much, but it's like if it's your job, you got to treat it like your job. Like you said that you're giving away waters and it comes out of your paycheck. But if every person you know wants a free water,
Yeah.
And that's not happening. Yeah.
that's not happening. So you
only
gotta
happens once in a while.
You gotta make, but that's what you gotta you gotta make money where you can, or you're gonna have another job and you're never gonna be a full artist. You're gonna be a hobbyist. You know, like
That's right. Yeah.
that's just kind of how I feel about it. And I used to be like, no, art's important, but you don't know how much your favorite artist did for that feature.
Yeah.
You don't know. Bro, those big comedians are paying the other comedians to come on their podcast.
Are they really?
Because they make so much money off ads, yes. It would be unfair. I make $1 million off my podcast. It would be unfair if I didn't get 50 grand. You just made $1 million off of me. You're not
you
going to
think
give
an
me.
episode, that's how much they're making?
Some of them are. With ads, with like.
What are they paying for ads though? Like Blue Chew can't be making
Bro,
trillions
you
of
gotta
dollars to pay $1 million
understand-
an episode for
You
a
got to
fucking guy.
understand
Like,
what Kill Tony does. You got to understand.
I'm familiar,
Kill Tony
yeah.
has so many page farms. Theo Vaughn. You know how you're like, who are these pages that are posting all their clips?
they're like reposting.
They
and
have
shit, yeah.
companies
Yeah.
that have hundreds of pages that are just posting those clips to
Yeah.
go viral.
Yeah.
Like they're
But that
making
funnels
a
back
lot,
up
and
to
then
them.
in some way,
Definitely,
yes,
you
because
think?
you're making money off of views. I make a couple $100 a month off YouTube for my shorts. And if I make a couple $100 and I know those big people are making a lot of money. Maybe
That's
it's
true,
not
yeah.
maybe it's not $1 million an episode, but I know some of those big podcasters are making hundreds of thousands of dollars an episode. So their guest has to get some payoff from that if they're at an equal level. Now,
Okay,
if like
yeah.
they're, so I just feel like, that's I don't know.
It's funny because the podcast that I listen to, I've heard, well, some of the podcasts I listen to, I've heard them specifically say there's no money involved. They're not like, I mean, money for ads, but like, I'm not saying for you to come on, it's this much, or for me to come on yours, it's this much.
Yeah, but
maybe they help each other out. Like, I'll pay for your dinner night, or I'll give you this much money for coming on just because you're my friend or whatever. Like,
with the Joe Rogan shit, he pays for travel and hotel. I don't think he pays people to come on.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But
Like,
his exposure is so crazy that you're making money off of it.
You're making money if
you're
you go
gonna
on his
make
podcast.
money
Yeah.
immediately.
There's that Rogan
from it,
bump, yeah. I think that happens with a lot of podcasts, though. Like, I mean, not ours, but people, you come on a podcast, you get that bump for just going on one, or you do the circuit because you're promoting whatever. Like, to get paid to come on something, to promote something that you're trying to sell is, I think it can't be, everyone can't be getting paid. But someone, like you said, the big people probably are. To get Joe on your podcast, probably.
Well,
costs you a couple
Joe
bucks,
said
yeah.
to go outside, it cost him $50,000.
Is he serious about that?
Yeah, because
go
he has to
outside?
have security.
Oh, I see what he's. Okay.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
okay.
for him to go to an event,
I don't think I want to be like that.
it's gonna cost so much. No, you don't.
Having to go
bro,
out and
I've
spend
met-
50K just so you feel like you can not die.
to
and
walk
go out.
outside.
I
is
was at a
crazy.
private party with Joe Rogan, and he had 5 security around him, and we're at a private party.
Is he as tall as they say?
Does he need that much
You
security? Who's
Yeah,
trying to
everybody-
get at, who's trying to
everybody
get
wanted
at
to
Joe
talk to
Rogan?
him.
A lot of
Everybody
people,
wanted
dude.
to talk to him.
Yeah.
Everyone, he's the most famous podcaster
Yeah.
of all time.
He's
Like,
huge.
People
Yeah.
just want to go up, even at a party. Even I was like, oh, I hope I get to shake his hand at least once. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I've met him before. Like,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he's the biggest podcast in the world. Had been for a while. I don't know if he's been dethroned at this point, but
no, he's still number
Theo's
one.
up
He's
there.
still number
Theo's
one.
up there.
and he's up there. But like Joe has been so consistent for so long and had so many guests and so many high profile people. It's totally. I don't think there's anyone who is even close. Like maybe the only other person to compare him to would be like Howard Stern, of like that level of broadcast and that consistency and that type of profile, I think. So it makes sense that when he goes out, everybody wants to touch him, like whether they love him, hate him, or just want to meet him. Like I get like
Also,
he
people
probably
hate him.
Yeah,
A lot of people
It's
lot
like
of
a lot
have
of people
started
want
to hate
to kill him
Yeah.
because of like his views.
I don't know about the views, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure people. I haven't
Bro, as
listened
soon
to
as
a
he
Rogan
aligned
podcast
himself
in a
with
while.
Trump, are you kidding me? If you align yourself with Trump, you're
Did he
putting,
align himself? I don't know. I haven't like listened. I haven't listened to a full
I
podcast
ain't
in a
even
while.
trying to get into politics, but
Yeah,
like, if you align yourself with that publicly, like you're probably, and you're a big figure, you're gonna put yourself out there for like some danger. You know
I always
what
thought
mean?
he was like politically agnostic.
Yeah, he changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Maybe I haven't heard more recent stuff, but that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I understand why. Just to bring it back to the security piece, to leave the house and have it cost $50K, and then the people like in that sphere, like how is I just don't understand. Like that's not real life. That's so interesting.
But you're making a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
you're making a lot of. You gotta like.
Where is the threshold where you have as much money as they have pre-expense, so you can go out, but you don't need to spend $50K? You know what I mean? We don't have
I've
to talk
talked
about
to
all
some
this,
pretty big rapper friends who are like medium famous.
but- Yeah.
Like let's say like 500,000 followers,
Yeah, that's pretty famous.
and they're
Yeah.
making $100K a year.
Crazy.
That's cool.
That's
That's a good.
No, if you have 500K followers, that
can make
doesn't.
more than that.
You should be able to make more than that.
I don't know,
would
bro.
think.
You got to think about health insurance. You got to think about car. Like
This is
you gotta
100K
think-
after expenses.
Yeah, I think like
So
Yeah.
they've already that's not terrible. Yeah.
Okay.
like 100. Like, bro,
100K
I'd
after
rather
health
be.
insurance,
I'd rather
taxes,
be
everything.
like.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I'd rather take all my money and be free
Yeah.
than have a bunch of money and no freedom.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to have to pay someone $50K to leave the house, or like just because for me to go to a podcast, there's expenses involved, so I need to be paid to do that. I'm like, I'd rather not have to and still be able to do the podcast and just make a little less money.
Bro,
like,
I would
who
have to
cares?
wake up at 5 a.m. for $200 a day to roof outside in the winter. That's $200 a day.
Is that all you get for roofing? That's crazy.
Yeah, when you don't have any experience in that shit, that's $200 a day, bro. Like
Damn.
maybe $300 on a good day. Like if you can make that a day podcasting anyway, if you can make that a day streaming anyway, even taking money, like even if you feel like not taking money, make it, you have to feel fulfilled. Everything's fulfilled.
Accepting money, yeah.
But like if you can make that like what you can, it's like that's not a forever thing, but like you got to start somewhere. Like how are you going to make how are you going to afford, like if you have a kid or a house, like how are you going to afford your rent? Like how are you going to afford your food? Like how are you going to afford to consistently keep putting out art and feeling okay with it? You know what I mean? You got to make money. You got to make money like in a weird, shitty way. It's just the way that capitalism works in America, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, no. So I feel like we're crossing wires a little bit because, of course, everyone deserves their nut. But
Gotta get that nut.
the only thing, because I feel like we've said this about the podcast and like social media in particular, like people paying for a post or like paying to get on a podcast, it kind of like dilutes the integrity of the whole thing.
100%.
And I understand like people got to be greased sometimes. Like there's expenses to make things happen. So it is what it is. But like yeah, so we try to avoid the pay to play. That's the only, I guess, the bottom line of like kind of where I was going for, because it's super awkward talking about money, especially on a podcast that is currently not making money. So we're trying, guys. We're trying.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I feel like I'm just saying it in motivation where it's like however you can make money, do it, because you can then invest back into your podcast.
Of course.
And then maybe at the point you don't have to make money that way, but it's like, you know, if someone's willing to give you money to talk to you, I'm serious. Like I'm serious. I'm saying this like break it. If someone's willing to give you money to talk to you, they like you a lot. Like they care about you. And
true,
for you
yeah.
to be like, fuck you.
yeah.
Fuck you. It'd be like, wait, like
It
I
definitely
want
is
to get
circumstantial.
you know,
yeah.
like
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
That's fair.
That's interesting. Yeah. So we know we can find you at sambuck.com.
sambuckcomedy.com
Sam
at
Buck.
Sam Bucked Up on Instagram, or like Sam Buck of the Bucked Up Podcast on YouTube.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Is there anything in particular you wanted to plug? We're running up on 2 hours now, so I figured we can probably.
Nothing. Just watch my stream. Yeah, that's it. Come see me do comedy. And yeah, watch my podcast and shit.
And you stream, you said 15 to 20 hours a week?
Yeah, I be streaming. We have fun over there. The chat's great.
Is it the same stream on Instagram Live as YouTube? Like, can you do both?
Yeah, but I just do it on Instagram Live to get people over on YouTube. YouTube, I have professional quality audio and everything.
I see. Okay.
I just have Instagram to get people notified to go over there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
People be going on Instagram and they're like, there's no one watching right now. Why are you doing it every day with no one watching? And I'm like,
Like, go on YouTube.
literally go on
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, I just have it to send you over to YouTube.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll peep the next one. But yeah, hey, thanks for coming on. We'll have to get you on another time soon.
Of course.
And
Appreciate it.
yeah, Sam Buck, peep it.
Peace.
Peace.